What up, y'all? And welcome to episode 60. We had my buddy Anthony Montoya on. We had a ton of fun. Look, we're dressed ridiculous. We're in gis. We have headbands. We talk about some serious shit. We talk about some not so serious shit. It was just a fun time. Look, I have a lot of respect for him. He's lost over 130 pounds. He started jiu-jitsu at 39. He has 2 kids with a third on the way. Working his day job, works his ass off. He's constantly moving all day long. And I think those stories are super important. It's just a regular dad who's doing the things that he wants. He's making time for himself. He's there for his family. It is possible. And so I think it's important to get these stories out. And also, losing 130 pounds is fucking impressive. So I hope y'all enjoy the episode. We'll be doing lots with Anthony. And yeah, as always, shirts. We have shirts, mostly smalls and mediums left, but there are a few larges and extra larges left. So if you want a shirt, hit me up on Instagram. I'll get you a shirt. I can ship it out as well. They're $25. But outside of that, y'all, enjoy the episode. And if you like it, leave a comment. Let me know your thoughts on anything that we talked about. And yeah, that's it. Enjoy the episode. Appreciate you.
Oh, shit. You ready? We got to clap together. All right. It's the thing.
I've noticed, yeah.
We have to clap together. It's just what we do now. All right. Ready?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1. Woo! Let's fucking go! Dude, this is one of those episodes that I've been really excited for all week. Because who knows where this is going to go.
It's very true.
There's so many directions this is going to go, and then also dressing up. Because if it goes the serious route, it's going to be so ridiculous. But then also there's other things I want to talk about before we get there, or if we get there. We might,
Just detours.
But one thing, I don't think you're there yet in the Ethan Hawke episode, but Ethan Hawke was on Joe Rogan. And I personally love the episodes with actors and actresses because you quickly learn who's cool and who's not.
Mm-hmm.
And I would say Ethan Hawke, pretty fucking cool. Just a normal dude.
Yeah.
Also just started, then just acting. And so it's always cool to see actors who are normal people who made it out of Hollywood and are still normal. And so one of the things he mentioned, and I wrote this down because I thought that this was super interesting, is Joe asked him if doing so many different types of characters and different type of roles, if that helps him see the world through different perspectives. So kind of similar to doing a podcast, being able to talk to a bunch of different people, you kind of see how different people think. And you're like, oh, that's really interesting. Oh, and then you just become a little bit more compassionate. You're like, I could see how someone feels this way or sees the world this way based on this, right?
Yeah.
And he said something very interesting in response. He said that when he's playing a certain role, like whether it's being a cop, like he does for training day, and he goes on all these ride-alongs, or if he's trying to be X or he's trying to be Y, and he's like, he goes into it completely different than what he thinks maybe a reporter does, where a reporter's trying to figure out, are you a good person or are you a bad person? And he goes into it just trying to understand how they feel in general, and why they make decisions that they do, and why they do certain things, and he's not judging them at all. He's just trying to better understand. And I would have heard that, and I was like, fuck, dude. If everybody did that, you would become far more compassionate, because you would be less likely to just be like, oh, that guy's retarded. Or, oh, you're an idiot.
Yeah.
Or, oh, how could you fucking do that? Or whatever, right? And so if everybody just went into the conversation or try to better understand why someone would feel a certain way, or just at least ask why first before, like so many people, you hear it all the time, dude, like someone's getting cut off in traffic. They cut you off and you're like, that guy's an asshole. Like, dude, how many fucking times have you accidentally cut somebody off Either you weren't paying that much attention, you were, or you just didn't see them, or whatever. It happens all the time.
Yeah, you don't know what's going on with them.
It just happens all the time. But immediately you're like, that guy's an asshole.
Yeah.
Or someone says something and you're just like, that guy's an idiot. And it's like, okay, we accomplish nothing with that type of mentality. Because all it does is it just puts up a wall. Like now nothing's going to happen, right? If you say something and I disagree, and I immediately go, well, you're a fucking idiot, there's immediately a wall.
Yeah.
And there is no path to resolution or some kind of compromise or some kind of understanding. Because now there's this wall up and we're just going to start yelling at each other. And we're just not going to get to the bottom of it.
Yeah.
And so when he said that, I was like, oh, fuck, dude, that's life. Like, that should be how it goes. Like, you shouldn't go into something trying to judge somebody for something or who they voted for or why they voted for or whatever it is. You should be trying to figure out, okay, what is it in your life that made you get to this point or made you make that decision? And then you can then correctly judge somebody, right? I always use, the one exception, I always say this, is like rape versus murder. If you come to me and said, Jordan, I just raped somebody, okay, now I gotta kill you. But if you come to me and you're like, Jordan, I just murdered somebody, and be like, Anthony, sit down. What happened? Tell me what happened first.
Yeah.
And then once you tell me what happened, then I can be like, ooh, yeah, we're gonna call the cops, bud. Or be like, you got 2 shovels? Like, you know what I mean? Like, most things in life, there is some nuance or some kind of gray area where you're like, oh, okay, that kind of makes sense. Or, oh, yeah, I see where you did that.
Yeah, yeah.
Or, oh, interesting. That's a really weird perspective. Anyways, though, that was one of the things that I had wrote down that I definitely wanted to talk about because I thought it was very interesting the way that he said it. He was like, I don't go into any of those things, whether it's a ride-along, whether it's I don't remember the other examples he gave, but the ride-along one is like what stands out. He's like, I'm not going into this cop's car and immediately judging them for what they're doing. I'm trying to put myself in their shoes and then be like, why would they make that decision? Why was that decision that they chose? Why wasn't it this decision? And, just being able to kind of put yourself in their shoes.
Yeah. No, I think it's a fair perspective, and then it gives you more insight into why they're doing what they're doing. Because it's all of that experience that led them to where they're going to a certain extent. So the decisions that they're making are based off of that experience. So if you jump to conclusions, then you're never going to understand it fully. So I think it's a fair assessment to say, like, to go into it just blind completely and try to understand it rather than just immediately pass judgment.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's also a sign of maturity, and it's also a sign of not being married to your ideas. Because who knows, maybe that person has a perspective that changes your mind or changes the way that you think about something or the way that you feel about something. And you'll never know that unless you at least hear why.
Yeah.
And again, if you're so quick to cast judgment or if you're so quick to call somebody this or call somebody that or whatever the fuck you want to call them, we're not getting anywhere. You're not doing anything. You see these people get online and they're fucking just calling people a bunch of names. Like, we're not getting anywhere.
Yeah.
Like, this isn't helping the situation. And it's always ironic because there's clearly certain people that believe they are only on the right side of the team. And that's the only team to play for. And that's the only right way to go about life. And you're a shitty person if you think any other way. And it's ironic that you would get on there and then your way of trying to convince people that your side is the right side is to then cast judgment, be mean, call people names, belittle people.
Yeah.
And it's like, you don't see how that is not going to make somebody want to come to your team, even if you are maybe correct.
Yeah.
Or maybe you are looking at it from a good way, but you're like, so what are you trying to then accomplish?
Yeah.
If that's all you're doing and posting gotchas or like, ooh, look at this, dumbass, da. If that's all you're posting, but yet you also feel like you're on the only right side and you want people to see that way because then the world would be a better place.
Yeah.
but yet you're constantly pushing people away from even caring about your fucking opinion because you're just a twat.
Yeah.
That seems a little counterintuitive, maybe.
I don't know that people think about it that much like that. Like it's true. Like you're not wrong. I don't know. Like it's an interesting thing to think about though. Like why do we do that? Like why is it that we resort to name calling or anything like that when somebody doesn't agree with you?
Well, it typically has to do with being not unable to back up your point. A lot, there's at least a portion of it, right? There's a portion of it that if someone comes in your DMs or whatever, or in person and challenges your thought process, and you immediately jump to some sort of name calling because we are not initially agreeing,
yeah,
it probably means that you haven't really thought your point out very well.
Yeah.
And there's holes being poked in it. And instead of saying, fuck, okay, I see that. I can see how maybe this is an incomplete thought.
Yeah.
And instead of doing that and then trying to find some kind of common ground, which most of us probably have, and instead of trying to find that, you just immediately jump to name calling to try to then make the other person's argument seem less legit, right? We see this all the time, where people with PhDs try to tell people without PhDs that they're the only ones that should have an opinion on something.
Yeah.
And we know all the time that a lot of those folks they might be logically smart, but emotionally they're idiots.
Yeah.
And they don't take criticism very well. They're not open to other ideas. They're not usually very open-minded because they've spent so much of their life going through a system being told this is right, this is right, this is right. And there's not a lot of questioning happening, not always, there's obviously, I'm generalizing, but they're not necessarily, at least, less now more than ever, in a position where they can question then the professor. And so that kind of same mindset then goes down or gets taught down. We see this in like archaeology with Graham Hancock.
Yeah.
Dude, they now call his theories racist because they hate the fact that he is offering something that goes against their whole livelihood, their whole life, right? We're seeing this now in the medical field, where people are just so upset that all this counter information is coming out and they think it's so harmful, and it's like, no, it's the exact opposite.
Yeah.
If your side is correct, quote unquote, like this fucking Dr. Neil Stone guy, there's just no way he's a real person. Can you find a tweet for me? Dr. Neil Stone, he tweeted it yesterday, I believe.
Yeah, it was yesterday or the day before.
It was yesterday or the day before, and this shit was ridiculous. This is the craziest thought process of all time.
Well, I think it's that. It's that people get...
Or
what's up?
NIEL.
NIEL. Yeah.
People get married to their ideas. And then, but it's hard too. Like, think about basing your whole career off of something that you've worked 30 years on, that this was the way it was, and you're building your base off of what was true then.
What was the last name? What was the name?
Dr. Neil Stone.
Stone?
Yeah.
Building everything that you have off of this foundation that is now potentially wrong. So like 30 years of work that you've done, or even longer sometimes with some of these people, is just thrown out.
Scroll down for me. It should be relatively close to the top. Keep going. Keep going.
You said yesterday?
It was relatively sometime. You'll see it.
Yeah,
You'll know the tweet. You'll even know the tweet that I'm talking about as soon as you see it. He tweets a fucking.
As I was about to say, like we're literally 6 hours ago.
What are you doing, dog? Like, how are you this prominent doctor, and all you do is you're on Twitter?
This was December.
While she's finishing that, while she's finding that, to your thought, to your point, like, look, I kind of get that. But then on the flip side, dude, shouldn't it be?
Is it this one?
No. You'll see it. It's a picture of the vaccine schedule for kids. But to your point, though, Anthony, it's like if I spent 30 years working on something, and then I found out that there's this whole other thought process. If you truly love what you do, wouldn't that be fucking yeah? Wouldn't that be fucking like fun? No, like the actual tweet itself.
Well, it's right there on the top right. So you call this a problem, I call it progress.
So for those who can't see the TV, it's talking about like in 1986, there was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shots that kids got on the vaccine schedule, and in the first 12 months. And then in 2025, there is
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 33. 33, well, 30 shots, give or take, and then the dropper, I'm assuming, is the oral. Oh, so then in 86, you were getting 2 of the oral vaccines and then 3 shots. It's 3 shots, yeah.
And so if they're getting, in the first 12 months, they're trying to give your kid 33 shots.
Well, 30 shots, 33.
30 shots and 3 oral ones, right? On there is 3 COVID shots that we just know have no business going into your kid at all.
Yeah, 100%.
And this guy, this is after the Henry Ford study is finally released to the public. So we know that this is not that cut and dry. And this doctor, Dr. Neil Stone, gets on Twitter after that. And he knows that study came out. And he goes, "You call this a problem, I call it progress." Dude, you're a government plant. There's no other explanation. He has to be a government plant. Like a freaking big pharma plant. And they just run, it's probably some big pharma intern running this Twitter page in disguise of this doctor. Because how are you tweeting 30 times a day? Why did it take us this long to scroll through to find a tweet from 2 days ago? It took us so long to scroll through your page.
Not even 2 days ago, yesterday.
So that was,
no, two days ago, December 18th.
Oh, it is the 18th.
2 days ago. Today's the 20th.
And you know what?
I thought it was on the 19th.
I love how the like likes to views ratio is so low. So no one's buying this anymore. No one's buying this anymore because again, if your side is so right, then why not debate it?
Yeah.
Why not be able to prove it? Because you can't prove it.
Yeah.
There is no long-term studies.
Yeah.
There are none. RFK sued them and won.
Well, now they're coming out too and seeing that some of the vaccines aren't actually like preventing and in some cases causing the things that they're supposed to be preventing.
Yeah.
Because what was polio, right?
Mm-hmm.
Polio was the one that like the majority of the cases seen were after the after the vaccine and caused by the vaccine.
Correct. Mumps as well is another one that I'm aware of that the large majority of the cases are kids with the vaccination. And then you get the Henry Ford study that comes out and it shows how many other things your kid is prone to getting if it's vaccinated versus unvaccinated. And again, all I'm saying is that now, if your side, quote unquote, is correct, okay, well now you have the opportunity to then prove it.
Yeah.
But yet, you just get on, they call you a bunch of names, they throw around anti-vaxxer, they tell you you won't be able to go to school. All they do is just try to limit the amount of people who think that way.
We gotta trust the science.
Yeah, right? Trust the science. The experts say. Right? And so, to my point, it's just like, if your side is so correct, why are you getting on social media calling a bunch of people a bunch of fucking names? Well, why aren't you able to prove it then?
I think part of it is people think that it is proven. Like, the data, like, obviously, like, if you dig into it, and which is why I think a lot of people, when they start, they're like, wait, like, hold up. Like there is something there. Like, why are we just like brushing over all of this? But I think the vast majority of people do trust the science to a certain extent, that they're thinking, well, like, people have done their due diligence. And then when you really dig in and you realize, oh, they really haven't done any due diligence. And they don't really have to, because they end up on this vaccines, or they end up on the CDC approved list, and then they're exempt from everything. So there's no recourse if anything were to go wrong. So I think it's given the pharmaceutical companies free reign to kind of do what they want.
Sure. Yeah, and look, before the internet, sure.
Yeah.
I get it. What were you supposed to do? Right? But
Yeah.
now in the last 10 years, with information being so widely available, you can find counter information.
But then that's when you get the pushback that you're not a scientist. Like, you don't know how to read research is what is the push. And I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but that's the pushback that you get, that like anybody can read any of these things and deduce what they want. But I think that's where normies to a certain extent will push back and say, like, well, who are you to be reviewing the data? Or who are you to be interpreting the data?
And that goes back to my point. Like, smart dogs are easier to train. It is a lot easier to get a bunch of really smart people to get on board with something. It just is. Because again, like, these folks that go deep into academia, yeah, they might be logically intelligent. They might be able to apply their intelligence in that sort of form, like in that sort of format. But who's to say that they're emotionally strong or emotionally smart? Who's to say that they're pushing themselves so that way their ego's constantly getting destroyed?
Yeah.
Like you see these people throughout academia that have these large egos. Again, we were just talking about archaeology is the perfect example.
Yeah.
And then we're seeing it in the medical field. Like,
Yeah.
they don't want to admit that there is a potential that they were wrong. That is dangerous. Because again, if you're that correct, and if the other information is such bullshit, then you should not only not sit behind the experts say line, you should put your fucking name on it, first and foremost. Secondly, then get out there and literally debate somebody of your equal status. Go on. Let's get Dr. Neil Stone versus Dr. Robert Malone. And let's have them sit there and have a full-blown debate. And I can guarantee you which one of those is about to win that debate. Like, there's no question. That's why they don't do it.
Yeah.
That's why they don't do it.
Yeah.
Because they know they're going to get murdered.
Well, I wonder if part of it too, like for the run of the mill, like your daily pediatrician type of thing. Like, I wonder if and I don't know, and I don't know if this is like a possibility, but I wonder if part of the reason people don't, for one, we've seen like during COVID, what happened to doctors that like didn't toe the line and how they basically almost lost their careers, if not some that did.
Some did.
But I wonder if there's some level of fear of like malpractice or anything like that from like a patient population, if they were, even by and large, if the medical community were to come out and say like, this is true, is there any recourse that the public could take regardless of the thing that Congress passed that made them exempt? If there's anything that could be done, and that's like the fear of why more people don't get on board, like the fear of getting sued or anything like that, like from parents that are like, you recommended this, you said that it was safe and effective, and now my kid has XYZ wrong with them, and I think it could because of this.
Yeah, I think probably there's ways the other way, right? I don't think you can then sue the doctor for recommending the vaccines because they're exempt, and I think that goes all the way down. I could be wrong on that, but it seems like it goes all the way down because I think otherwise doctors would probably be getting sued way more. But I think on the flip side, there's probably nothing protecting them from that if the doctor was to tell you, hey, I don't recommend these, and then the kid was to get sick. I'm sure there's probably nothing protecting them that way.
Yeah, I'm curious about that because I don't know how, like, it's something that I'm completely like naive on. Like, if a doctor recommends or doesn't recommend something, are they liable for either or?
Yeah, I think they should just have a fucking conversation.
Yeah,
and then
and you can't even do that with providers though. Like I knew that like when I had my first daughter, like you can't have these conversations and you're a pariah when they look at you like you're the worst person on earth when you're like turning things down.
Yeah, just having a question.
Like I remember, yeah,
it doesn't even mean you're going to say no.
yeah, yeah.
Like you learn that in sales. Just because if someone's asking you a question, that's a buying signal. That's not a fucking, oh, he's not going to buy.
Yeah,
That's not how it works. So if you're like, hey, we're going to give this, your kid this shot today, and then you just ask a question, that means there's an opportunity there for you to convince me or for you to then reassure me
exactly
that's the right decision.
Well, but that's when it goes back to what we were talking about. Like it turns into like the provider belittling you and being like, oh, hey, you check Dr. Google, right?
Yeah. Oh my God.
And you're just like, no, I'm trying to do my due diligence too as a parent.
It's my fucking kid.
Exactly. Yeah.
Sorry for having some slight concern.
Yeah.
It's my kid. And you should be more concerned that more parents aren't asking you questions. That they're just going along with things.
To also circle back to your very first point about like what we started this with, about how putting yourself in other people's shoes, like we talked about this obviously like through text, but how you talked about even putting yourself in your mom's shoes about the vaccine schedule and like you getting vaccines when you were little and all of that kind of thing. I think that like plays into it too, like having an understanding, and for the providers, like I wish like the providers would like take that into account instead of just automatically being like, oh, okay, like you went online and you think you know more than me who's been doing this for whatever.
But that's an ego.
And no, 100%. I think, but that's what I mean. Like it's all full circle to like, if the provider put yourself in their shoes put themselves in your shoes and was like, oh, they're just questioning to kind of like, they just want to know more about this. And to your point, like it's still an opportunity for us to do this. I just need to like reassure them, but it automatically like, it goes back to that whole thing. Like it turns into like butting heads when it never even had to get to that. If you would each just like step back and put yourself in each other's shoes, you would have a better understanding of things.
Absolutely. And then in addition, if you were humble, you would then hear the question out and then you would answer the question with the information that you believe to be correct. And if that information then convinced me that that was correct, or if you just put my worries or my fears to bay through your answer, then I'd be like, oh, yeah, fuck, okay, cool.
Yeah, that makes sense. Exactly.
Let's do it. Or, right? But the second you just start getting, like, the second they just start belittling you, or you could see it in their face. Like, we experienced that, right? I was super, super concerned because I knew how I felt pretty about it. Taylor was more on the line. She definitely understood where I was coming from, and then she also, just like, again, it's just ingrained in us, right?
Well, yeah, because I get that too. Like I go through the same thing with my wife where it's scary because
what if something does happen?
Exactly.
What if you're wrong?
Exactly. And then it's your kid. Like to your point, like it's my kid. Like it could go either way. So like weighing those things and being like, well, like what if we don't do this and then they do catch it? Or like especially with like measles, like it's funny how like back in the day, like measles wasn't a thing. And obviously like I'm not old enough to have experienced that because I got like the shot when I was born or when my first year or whatever. But like they're doing it now even with chickenpox where I have firsthand experience that like I had that when I was little and it wasn't a big deal. Like
you just had parties.
Yeah, exactly. Like they invited other kids over.
The whole neighborhood, let's go all at once.
Exactly. So we could all get it and get it over with, and it wasn't like a thing. But now I noticed that even when providers would like push the varicella vaccine about chickenpox, and I'm kind of just like, well, wait, like this, like 20 years ago, like nobody cared about this, or 40 years ago, however old I am.
We just had parties.
Yeah, it wasn't a big deal. Like
it was a normal thing in the 80s, the 90s.
Yeah,
I'm not even that old, and I know that. Like and so it just goes back to my point, right? If you're so convinced that you're correct, then just prove it.
Yeah.
The only reason, so let's break it down even to like an even simpler example, right? It's like, I firmly believe that kids should be in martial arts. I think it's a fucking fantastic thing for them, right?
Yeah.
Or just sports in general, but specifically martial arts or like individual solo sports, I think have a very particular skill set that really allows people to kind of like thrive in life. But if you disagreed, it wouldn't just be like, oh, you're an idiot. You're going to be a shitty parent. I'd be like, well, let me tell you like why or what my experience has been and why I feel like that, dissolving of the ego, building up self-confidence, actually learning that hard work does pay off. All these different things that you can learn through martial arts, especially at a young age, that will allow you to thrive in life. We just know that this is a winning formula. And I would just explain that to you. And, I'm not going to sit here and just start calling you a bunch of names, but it's also because I'm very confident in what I'm about to tell you.
Yeah.
And so immediately, the second you get that look on your face, or the second you start thinking I'm this like crazed parent or Dr. Google, the second you get that way, all it does is just make me more firm in my position, because you have now given me zero counter evidence, or you were so dismissive right off the bat that now I'm like, you're not even fully convinced.
Yeah.
Because now your ego is taking over.
Yeah.
If you were humbled and you were very well educated, that just wouldn't be your initial response. It just wouldn't be. Like, you would very much sit there and be like, okay, well, tell me what you've seen, what you've read, what you've heard, and then I'll go point by point and be like, well, this is the case. Yeah. This is that case. This is why. And now we can truly have these conversations because the study is finally out. Yeah. So now you can go to your pediatrician and be like, okay, which vaccine are we looking at? Okay, this is what they found. If you do get it, all right, you're 3 times more likely of asthma. You're 2 times more likely of this. Okay, and what's the chances of getting this? Ooh, okay, it's 7 times, there's 7,000 cases of these every year in Texas. You're like, okay, all right, so there's a 5% chance that she gets asthma. There's a 32% chance that she gets this. All right, let's get the vaccine. Yeah. Or vice versa. Right? Yeah. Being like, ooh, there's a 36% chance that she gets asthma, and there's a 2% chance that she gets this. Yeah. Doc, I don't feel very good about that. That's not in my favor. Yeah. Now we can officially fucking do that. It has nothing to do with choosing a side or being anti-vax or being for vaccines. It's just a matter of the fact that we now have the information to sit there and have a conversation that is the risk greater than the reward? Yeah. Or is the risk less than the reward? And now that we can have that conversation, now you can be like, oh, this is a good one. I don't want to do that one. Yeah. Oh, this is good. Yeah. Oh, I ain't doing that. Yeah. And that's how it should fucking be. Because now we have the information as a public, as a society, to make better decisions for our next generation. Informed decisions. Informed decisions. Yeah. Truly informed.
Well, that's what I love about and I've told you about them, shout out to Bridge Family Wellness. They do that. Like when we take our kids in and we talk to them, we do that exactly what you did. Like, if we don't do this, like, what is the risk? And it's like, it's talking, it's a conversation. It's, well, I don't think you really need to be worried about that. Or if you are gung ho about like doing this vaccine, like, let's just wait a little bit longer till she's older, or XYZ, but they're having those conversations. It's not just like cut and dry. It's I don't really think there's anything there. Like, you guys shouldn't be worried about that. Like, you're fine. Or you should probably do this because there is a whatever, like whatever it is, just having those conversations. And it just makes you feel like that much better about your provider too, because you're having those conversations with them.
Now you trust them.
Exactly.
And you should fucking trust your doctor. Yeah. There shouldn't be this level of distrust, but the reason why we've gotten here is because we have been lied to so much. Yeah. And on top of that, you're then looked at like you're crazy, or you're then belittled and called Dr. Google or whatever the fuck they want to like. Dude, we experienced it because, again, I was super, super nervous about it. I was like, dude, I know right when we go to have this conversation, I already know the fear mongering. It immediately goes to fear. Yeah. And it immediately goes to belittling. And that was exactly the experience very initially. Thank God we also go to a very good pediatrician. who is very open about this, very willing to have a conversation about it, and doesn't judge us at all. And but at the hospital, that's not how it goes, right?
Yeah.
Once you get out of the hospital, if you go to the right pediatrician, you'll be okay.
100%. Yeah.
Luckily, we live in Texas, where A, it's not mandatory. B, there are more providers willing to see you if you choose to decline. I know that's not the case everywhere. I also know that it's not even always the case here. It can be hard to find a provider who will at least have a conversation with you. But again, there are options, and we can, right?
Yeah.
And that's always the thing, dude. As long as options are not bad, there should be options. That's the best part about living here, is that we do have the options, right? You don't want to deal with health insurance, you don't have to have the health insurance. You don't have to, and you can still be seen. You just have to pay out of pocket. Okay? We have options for these things. And so, as soon as the baby pops out, or no, it wasn't even before that, it was when she was in labor, we're like, we're not doing the vitamin K shot. We're not doing any shots here. You're not taking that baby you're not taking that baby anywhere I ain't. That ain't happening.
She's staying with us.
She is staying right here. Taylor was very adamant about that.
Yeah.
I put together a birth plan. We wrote everything down. We handed it. We made copies. We made sure that this is what's going to happen, and there's no changing this.
Yeah.
This is it. And immediately, do you know what the vitamin K shot is for? Yeah. It's if I fucking smack the shit out of her against the wall and then cause some kind of contusion, and now her blood can't clot.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, apparently, so to that, because we talked about that, and I started Perplexity. I used Perplexity to go down a rabbit hole about vitamin K. So apparently, it is contusions, but it also can just randomly happen.
Sure, but I think that's a pretty short time period. Yeah.
Yeah. It's within I don't know off the top of my head, but it's a 10 days or something like that. And it's not necessarily caused by trauma. It can just happen. And it gave me the percentages, and it was one of those things that with vitamin K, it's not going to happen basically, but with vitamin K, it's not going to happen. Without it, it's whatever the percentage was. But that's another one too that
has a black box label on it.
Which is weird, because when you're when you're looking at it's one of those things too that's hard to drill down into on why exactly it has the black box or what it is, because what are they putting in it? Because you can get it preservative free, that's supposed to be a little bit better, but it's essentially just a vitamin. So what
they're doing something. Why does it have a black box?
No, exactly.
And immediately when you go to ask that, they immediately they just tell you, oh, don't worry about that. Don't worry about. Wait, hold up.
Or no, I take it back. So they had the black box, but it was for. And see, and this is one of those things, shouldn't there be different versions of it? If you're giving the pediatric version, should that even have the black box, or is it something that they have to do all together for a drug? Because the black box warning, if you drill down into it, was for adult patients getting it infused for whatever reason, was the ones that were having the adverse events.
Yeah, I've seen that.
But then it's I don't know. It's one of those things. It's just a
it's
weird
a kid shot. Why is that on there then?
That's what I wonder. If
you can't separate those
exactly. Yeah.
I don't know, right?
But that's the thing, is you can't have those conversations.
Yeah. And so I don't know, right? But the question that we asked was just okay, well, A, we've been supplementing this entire time.
Yeah.
She has plenty of vitamin D, vitamin K. Her blood markers are all fantastic. Is that going to get passed through? The answer is yes.
Well, and then I read too, if you do the you don't do the cord clamping, you let the the baby.
Delayed.
There we go. Yeah. The delayed cord clamping, they can get their blood volume up, which can then alleviate a lot of that vitamin deficiency.
Which we did. We did do delayed clamping, so it stayed on until it goes purple.
Until it goes white.
So it goes white, yeah. So it goes white, and then we cut it off. So there's nothing is without risk.
Yeah.
Right? And all we want to know is, what is the risk and what is the reward?
Yeah.
Right? If the vitamin K thing, so contusions obviously, and then what you're saying with there's just a certain percentage of babies that might have a adverse reaction and their blood needs to be clot, needs to be able to clot itself. And I think it is like a pretty small window. It's not a super long window, and so it's like, okay, what is the chances of that happening? Let's just have a conversation about it. What's the chances? Okay, it's this. Okay, well, that's kind of high. That's not very good.
Yeah.
All right. And so just be able to just be able to provide that information and then put people at ease. It's not a matter of like, oh, fuck this, I ain't doing none of it. It's not like, again, we've talked about the tuberculosis one via text message, which is probably one of the most studied and most successful vaccine on the market, and it's the only vaccine that's not given in the U.S.
Yeah. So can we actually look that up? Like, how many cases of tuberculosis do we have in the United States yearly?
I think it's something crazy.
Because it is a weird thing, because we know, like, they push like the MMR for measles and stuff like that. So I'd be curious to see. Okay, so
only 9,000? I thought it was a couple million. Really?
So 2.9 per 100,000.
That's more cases than measles, though.
Yeah.
I think in the last
Okay, so for TB, if you have tuberculosis, like what is the mortality rate for TB? Oh, right there.
Whoa!
Wait, but
That's global.
Oh, globally, okay.
Yeah. 0.2 deaths.
And then, okay,
How
now
do you
look at
have
what's
0.2 deaths?
That's pretty low.
So only a 0.2% of a person passes
So
away.
then even then, I probably wouldn't even.
Okay, now remove TB and put measles.
I was probably gonna give some crazy ads.
Yeah, won't even.
Mm-hmm.
AI's like, nope.
AI
Nope,
got
not
real.
touching that.
Yeah, AI got real. Because the two kids who they said died of measles, there's some pretty strong evidence that shows that measles is not what killed them.
And that's my point. And that's kind of my point, is like, we obviously, like, the mortality rate of TB isn't there, but I'd be curious to see what it is versus something that we do vaccinate against, because there's always this push that, like, in the region of Americas, though, so that would be North and South America, correct?
Mm-hmm, I think so. 9 countries have reported cases.
Yeah.
So in the United States, there it is.
But even that, look, like 3,100. So we have more cases of TB a year.
Yeah, there's more cases of TB a year, and we don't vaccinate. We don't vaccinate.
And that vaccine actually is like
supposedly like
there's
legit. A lot of strong evidence for it.
Yeah, but we do for measles that has potentially lower cases, and I'm not sure of the mortality rate. But I think it's just it's to that, like when you start digging into data, like nothing ever really makes sense. Like, why are we doing it for this and not for that? Like, I don't totally understand. And I mean, obviously, like, our kids aren't getting TB.
And this is also the WHO, so
Yeah.
who knows, right? That's also the hard part too, right? I don't even think the doctors can surf through all of it. Right?
Yeah.
I think that's also the hard part. And so, like, I get it. Like, I'm not blaming them.
It's just more more of their pushback to new data.
Yeah. When we know that there's no long-term studies done on them in general.
But I think they push back and say, like, and say, well, like, we've been doing this since 87 or whenever the vaccine started, like, really ramping up.
And society seems to be largely sicker.
Yeah.
And there could be lots of blames for that.
I mean, yeah, it's nuanced, because it's not necessarily just that. Like, it's also, like, the foods that we eat. Like, we know that, like, all of the dyes, all of the process, like, all of those different things are leading to the U.S. being unhealthier. Just that alone.
There's so much to it, right? But there's definitely, there's a lot. It's a lot to surf through. I think it's just about making the best decision for you and your family.
Yeah.
And one that you can live with. And I think that's the biggest thing, right? Making a decision that when you put your head on the pillow at night, you're like, I feel good about this.
Yeah.
And I couldn't do it. I mean, she's so alert. She's looking around.
Yeah.
She seems so there. Like, she seems just so much, like, you see some babies and you're like,
I know. And that's the thing too, that's what's always so scary is like, I can't fathom my daughter being the way she is one day and then doing something that I think is good for her and then she's not her anymore the next day. Like, that's probably scarier than anything else, is to like think of that. Like, you get scared because you want to protect them and you think you're protecting them, and then you can completely change who they are.
yeah, I mean, what's the amount of cases of polio last year in the U.S.?
In unvaccinated.
Just in general.
Or in general?
Just in general, let's see. Just in general, just the total numbers, right? No, none. It was a limit, and it always says due to vaccination. But
Yeah.
the numbers of polio deaths were going down before the vaccine came out.
Yeah, I noticed that too. Like, it was already on a downward decline.
Yeah, it was going down a ton. But now there's virtually no cases, right? Okay. So where does polio come from? What is polio?
Like virus or...
Well, and that was one of the things too, is like,
It would always say that, but it's going to come back. Okay, so what is that? What are the chances of that? Has that happened? It's a viral infection.
potentially leading to irreversible paralysis. Yeah, see, it sounds though most infections are asymptomatic.
Like 99, I think it's like 90, 97, 99% of all polio cases are
75%.
asymptomatic.
75%. No symptoms.
So-
And then
And
mild.
then 1% is severe.
And so we know vaccine entries are not zero.
Yeah.
And so we're protecting from something, we're being told to protect from something that there are no cases of. And so, okay, let's see. Are there any places where polio was eradicated and then came back? I don't even know how you would,
I know.
I don't know if you could use like,
Let's see.
What up, y'all? I know I'm interrupting the conversation. I apologize, but I do need to quickly talk to you about Redmond Real Salt. I've been using this salt for a couple of years. I cook with this every single day. It is my absolute favorite salt in the entire world. And you now, as a What's Up Brodey listener, you can get 15% off by using the code Brodey, or on my Instagram in the bio, you can follow that link to checkout. You'll get 15% off as well. Now, back to the conversation.
the last case was in 1979. That's pretty fucking crazy.
You're certified polio-free in 1994.
I know,
It
but
still
like,
exists globally.
yeah, so like, is there a place where,
U.S. stopped naturally occurring wild polio decades ago.
I guess I'm just trying to figure out, what is the,
Let me see.
so it's like a global threat, that's what they're saying, like people could bring polio over
Yeah.
from a different place, and then but if that was so possible, then how are there no cases? Is it because, what?
Well, it is interesting because we do have people traveling in all of the time, like into the U.S., and you're not seeing it. So if that were the case, then I would imagine, unless these people are only coming from places that are vaccinating against polio.
Well, it brought up like Afghanistan as an example, like people bringing over polio from there. It's like, okay, maybe, I don't know.
Well, what's interesting too is like that, and I don't remember where I heard this. Maybe you said it on one of the episodes, but that completely lost my train of thought. But that the
happens to the best. So let's switch gears. Let's switch gears because there's something I very much want to get to, and there's probably people who are already turning this off because we're talking about vaccines.
right? Yeah, we started off too strong.
Yeah. So there is something that I definitely want to get to because you have lost a shit ton of weight.
I have.
And I think that it is so important for people to hear about this because, again, Jelly Roll was just on Joe Rogan. He talks about how he's lost 320 pounds. And, of course, fat, lazy people or people who feel like it's impossible or people who are, the woe is me people or whatever kind of type of person whichever one you fall into, right? Whichever category you fall into, lack of discipline, lazy, don't think it's plausible, all of the above, whichever one, right? They hear Jelly Roll talk about it, even though the man lost 320 pounds, people will still go, but he's rich.
Yeah.
Okay then. Well, I have a man sitting across from me, he didn't lose 320 pounds, but he's lost a shit ton of weight. That is not quote unquote rich.
Yeah.
Has 2 kids with a 3rd one on the way, and has done it in the fashion that is completely plausible, has not went out of his way financially to lose this weight. And so, all right, fine. You don't want Jelly Roll to be the example. You think it's out of touch? Well, here you go, dude. There's a guy right here who fucking did it, who, again, didn't go out of his way financially, didn't spend this absorbent amount of money, doesn't have a fucking cook in his house, doesn't have nutritionists, doesn't have all these things at his, at his disposal. So,
it's Dr. Google.
Just Mr. Dr. Google.
Yeah, just Mr. Dr. Google.
Bro science, bro. Hey, bro science hasn't stirred me wrong yet. I think that's another reason why I have issues trusting certain things, because I'm like, y'all keep telling me that this information is pseudoscience, and I just keep thriving. So, and I have not, before you get going, this is something Taylor and I talked about. So Taylor also went to Waste Well. She's also gotten her blood work back. She's also doing fantastic. And that's even considering she's breastfeeding. She just had a baby. Her hormones are all out of whack, and her biological age still came back less than her actual age, right? And so I've been now following a lot of this stuff for like 10 years, right? All this pseudoscience, bro science, all these different definitely doctors, but people who continuously try to say aren't doctors because they have counter thought processes or whatever. Like, come on Joe Rogan. And I've been talking about nutrition, whether it's Dr. Andy Galpin, whether it's Dr. Rhonda Patrick, whether it's I can never remember the other Chris I don't know, Andrew Huberman.
Yeah.
People
I love Huberman.
People throw shade on him all the time.
The only one that I think doesn't deserve shade, but is like pretentious and annoying, is what's his name? And it sucks because I use his protein powder. But the dude, he was the one that
Paul Savino.
Yeah. That Segura was making fun of because he takes coconuts with him. Yeah, he's not wrong. He
might not be wrong about something, but I definitely think he goes a little bit further than most people care about. And he's very passionate about these very far out there things. Right? Yeah. And it's you may or may not be right, but most people are come on, bro, I just want to make sure that I'm healthy enough. There's just some things that we're going to accept.
I'm not flying with coconuts in my carry-on bag.
Yeah, right. And so there's always that potential. And I would have this thought. I'd get high and I'd be like, dude, I'm following all these people all these scientists and doctors that people keep telling me are wrong or incorrect. And I'm like, I keep following all this shit. Yeah, I feel good, but I've never I don't go to the doctor myself. I actually don't know, what if I'm doing something wrong? What if I'm incorrect? Yeah. And I had that thought because I'm like, dude, I recommend a lot of people a lot of shit. And I'm like, bro, I don't even know if I'm, I could be dying right now, right?
For all I know, I'm a liver failure.
Yeah, I could be a fucking
malnourished.
Yeah, malnourished, thank you. I could be very malnourished, and then I fucking forget words, and I don't know how to speak. My vocabulary is shit, and people are like, "That guy's an idiot." And so I'm like, "All right, that's all very fair." Yeah, very fair critiques, right? No one ever called me out on it, which is pretty funny. But it was something that I would always call myself out on. Yeah. Nonetheless, and so finally signed up for Waste the Wells. Way 2. Alan roasted my ass because I said that's what it was. I said Ways to Wells. And Alan was like, "You stupid bitch! It's Ways to Well." Yeah, because they put Alan the AI in unicorn mode. Oh, dude, it was incredible. I sent you the video. Yeah. Where he's just cussing me out. I was like, "That's incredible." And Taylor was like, "I wonder if we can do that to the one on our phones." And I was like, "We got to try." Oh. Yeah, because you have Alan on your phone through the Ways to Well app. So if you're signed up on their blood work membership, you have access to him all the time. And dude. He's the AI is the one that put me on the gut healing supplement stuff. not even the nurse practitioner when she did when she wrote my report. It was the AI.
Yeah. That put it all together.
And there are look, I take a lot of shit. I don't know what's working, what's not working, what's unnecessary, what's overkill. I just take a lot of stuff. I know I feel good. I don't know which ones are really pulling the weight, right?
Yeah.
I can say without a doubt that the digestive enzymes, the L-glutamine, and the zinc kerosene, those three together have made a world of difference.
Yeah.
Because I've come off of them because of the stem cells.
Yeah.
And I'm back to the same shit.
Yeah.
Gas pains, gassy as hell, farting, burping, just can't stop.
For Taylor.
Dude, what's crazy is she'll tell you, when I got on the digestive enzymes, gone.
Mm-hmm.
All of it, gone. And I've been struggling with gut issues for 32 years. It was so bad in high school where I would be like, I would just text my mom and be like, hey, you gotta come get me. And it was to the point where she didn't even question it.
Yeah.
She just came and got me because she knew how bad it was.
Yeah.
I had to go to the ER when I was like 18 because of stomach pains I woke up out of my sleep in probably 10 out of 10 pain, which is very rare for me. The doctor's always like, so like on a pain scale, on like a pain scale, 1 to 10, like where are you at? And I'd be like, I don't know, dude, like a 4.
Yeah.
Like most things aren't that painful to me. I don't know if I have a high pain tolerance or, I don't know. But most things just aren't that bad. And I was like, no, this is a fucking 10.
Yeah.
I need to go to the ER right now. So then got diagnosed with Gilbert syndrome, which essentially my liver just produces a lot of the red blood cells, causes gas pains, things like alcohol, shitty foods, really sets it off, and it's just a miserable day for me.
Yeah.
Got on that gut healing stack, and all gone. I would eat things that typically would fuck me up.
Yeah.
And be fine. And I'm like, dude, this is life-changing for me. Like, not having stomach pains throughout the day is out of the ordinary. Like, that is not normal.
Yeah.
And so, like, that was crazy. And the AI recommended it. I was like, that's fascinating, right? And then the other thing that I've definitely noticed, because again, I've had to come off because of the stem cells, was DHEA.
Mm-hmm.
Back to wanting to take naps again. I'm like, fuck, dude, it's 2 o'clock. I'm so tired. I'm just dragging ass. I don't get up that early. I get up at 6.
Yeah.
It's not that crazy.
Yeah.
Right? It's not like...
Yeah, 6, yeah.
It's not that crazy. And I'm not even training right now. So it's like, why am I this tired? And I'm like, dude, it has to, again, be that supplement that they also recommended. Anyways, all that to say is like, I get my blood work back. Biological age comes back at 19. Blood markers there's some improvement, but for the most part, like I scheduled a consultation, and the first thing she says to me when she gets on the call is like, Mr. Brodey, I'm a little confused here. Why are we here? Your blood work is fantastic.
Yeah.
Like, why are we having this call? And I was like, oh, well, it's for this and this, right? And she's like, oh, okay, that makes sense, because I thought we were going to be talking about your blood work. And I was like, I think this might be a waste of time. But, and so I'm like, oh, okay. So there is some validity here.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, Jordan, you're only 32. It's like, all right, you might be right, but not everybody's numbers come back like that.
Yeah.
Like, that's not the norm, especially in the U.S., especially these days. That's not the norm. My biological age being 12 years younger than what my actual age is.
Yeah.
I've seen people's blood work come back even from waist to well, and it not be that.
Yeah.
And so then Taylor signed up, and I'm like, oh, fuck, dude, I had Taylor on a crazy supplement stack during pregnancy.
Yeah.
I have her on a crazy supplement stack
I was taking
still.
like 15 pills when I was pregnant.
And I still have her on a crazy supplement stack.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, I didn't know. This is just all things that I had learned, I've picked up. It was a lot of Dr. Rhonda Patrick's pregnancy. Dude, that episode with her on Joe Rogan when she was actually pregnant, Joe asking her all those questions about what she's taking, da. That's what I based the entire supplement stack off of. I've never met this woman. I could be completely wrong. She could be completely full of shit.
Just making stuff up.
Right? But there is something about someone sitting there, putting their name on something.
Yeah.
And talking for 3 hours. And there's never one point where your bullshit meter goes off.
Yeah.
Look, I'm not this PhD smart kind of guy. But if we're sitting right here and you start bullshitting me, I'm gonna know immediately.
Yeah.
That is where I stride. Human nature, people, reading them. That's where I get a good read on people.
Yeah.
And so when I listen to these people, I'm sometimes like, no, okay. And then there's some people I'm listening to, I'm like, I'll take anything you say as gospel.
Yeah.
And it might just be because you're a very good speaker, but that's not super likely. There hasn't been a lot of those people. And then, 5 years from then, you're like, outside of Paul Sandino, which again, I don't even know if he's not even someone who comes to my mind where I'm like, this is how I based a lot of stuff off.
Yeah.
Dr. Rhonda Patrick, Dr. Andrew Huberman, and Dr. Andy Galpin. Those three people come to mind immediately, and still to this day, all three of them are highly respected.
Yeah.
And then Gary Brecka.
Mm-hmm.
And then Gary Brecka is one of those ones, again, in the middle between those three and Paul Sandino, where he's in the middle, where there's some out there kind of stuff that he talks about, and it's like, okay, maybe not.
Yeah.
But the sound stuff that he does talk about, like the hydrogen taps, for instance, like, I think that's necessary if you have the bankroll.
Yeah.
Sure.
No, 100%.
Right?
I think there's value in it, but I don't think it's necessary.
Yeah. If you have the bankroll, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Is it going to change the normal person's life? Probably not. Right?
Well, I think that's a lot of thing with these things too, is like people will be super unhealthy and then to think that like this one thing is going to change their life.
Yeah.
And it's way more nuanced than that. It's like a series of different things. And it's not like, I think that's the other thing too, is we've become a society that's like quick. Like I want it now. Like I want to drink this and like, I'm going to feel amazing. Yeah. And it's not like that. Like you need to work at it, and you need to have discipline and get to that point, because it all builds over time. Like it's like little bits and little bits. And like, that's even with me, like, taking like I take like the Onnit vitamin stack that they offer. So it started with that. And then little by little, using AI, I'd be like, okay, well, where am I missing things here? And then even in talking with you, and like I started taking the lion's mane, and just like adding to that, and little by little you start to feel the differences. And that's the thing, it's not immediate. It's not, I took this Wednesday and like I'm running a triathlon on Thursday. It's, I'm taking this, I'm being consistent with it, and then little by little. And I mean, that's even with weight loss. And I think that's one of the things that's always like super hard about it, is putting the work in and then not seeing that gratification of like the scale going down after a week, after 2 weeks. But then little by little it starts, and then you start building, and then you start feeling better, and then that drives you to do more. But I think it's that initial like couple of months that you're in the weeds, and you need to just keep pushing so that you do start to actually see like the fruits of your labor.
Yeah, I agree. And so then that leads us to you. Take us from the top, because I know this is not the first time.
No. So in my early 20s, I was 315 pounds, was tired of, I was always the chubby kid. Like I was always the big kid growing up. Through high school, I was definitely of the like mindset of like not feeling comfortable in my own skin, which, I mean, that's probably like a lot of us. But for me specifically, it was like my weight. Like I wore huge clothes. Luckily it was at a time that, well, I guess it's back again, but luckily it was at a time that like you wore baggy jeans and like baggy shirts. And like, I definitely leaned into that because I could hide myself. So I finally got to a point where I was like, you know what, like, no, like I need to change. And I started doing crazy cardio, watching what I was eating, portion control, the whole deal. Got down to 180 pounds, and was feeling good. Like I was super happy. Like it was great. And then met my wife, and little by little, like you get comfortable, and the weight slowly started coming back up. And after 14 years at the time, I was definitely like, I was seeing pictures of myself with my kids, and I was like, I don't want to be that person. Like I don't want to be the fat dad. And I want to be able to like keep up with my kids, like playing with them and stuff like that. Like I would get out of breath and like just get tired. Like I was always tired, and definitely like it was one of those things that like I don't want to be that person. So I started looking into like what to do about it. I used, at the time, it was like one of those like online things, like one of those online providers for weight loss, and was like weighing my options for getting on a GLP and like anything to kind of kickstart the whole thing so that I could start doing something. So subsequently, or go ahead.
Before that, so like outside of, was there something specific? Like, can you pinpoint a moment where you just made this transition?
This last time?
Yeah, mindset wise, even before you started to physically start to take those steps, but was there something in particular, like a day or like a moment where you're like, oh, I'm changing tomorrow? Like
it wasn't
more gradual?
It was gradual. It wasn't like this single thing. It was like it was partly like my wife wanting to take pictures of me with the kids, and like I didn't want to because I didn't like how I looked. Just not feeling comfortable in your own skin. Like I doubt I doubt my wife would ever say like she still wasn't attracted to me, but even just feeling like I just felt gross. Like I just felt like an unattractive slob. Like I didn't. It was just that. Like it was just feeling like you weren't. Just feeling like that again, where I wasn't comfortable in my own skin, and just not having confidence and things like that. That like I just didn't want to feel like that anymore, and I didn't want my kids to like. I started thinking like future wise, and like I didn't want my kids to like. And I don't even know if this would happen, but in my head it was like I didn't want them to be like, oh, that's Sabrina's fat dad, or just anything like that. Like I didn't want to embarrass them or be an embarrassment for my kids.
It's a powerful motivator.
Yeah, no, definitely. And it definitely like lit the fire under me to be like, you know what, like, no, like I'm going to do something about this. So then started doing research, looking into like what to do, looked into GLPs, finally bought a scale and weighed myself because I hadn't done that in forever, because I think I was just too afraid to see like what I had gotten to. And when I got on scale for the first time, I was in the 350s, and I was like, holy crap, like this is the biggest I've ever been. And that was probably the most eye-opening, to be like, holy shit, like I like let myself go like even further than last time. Like in my head, I was still like, literally in my head, I was like, oh, I'm probably like 280. And like, no, like I was 70 pounds heavier than that.
General talks about that, the lying to yourself.
Yeah.
He talks about that one of the main reasons why, or like, you know, one of the reasons, very similar to you, right? You want to be able to play with your kids. You want to be able to have sex with your wife. You want to be able to be attracted to each other. You want to make sure that she's also attracted to you.
Yeah.
Things like that. Like, and again, like you said, your wife would have never thought that way or admitted that or any of that things. But at the same time, you're like, oh, I could look better.
Yeah.
Right? I could be better. Right.
Yeah. There was nothing stopping me.
Yeah. And he talks about how he, you know, just lied about it so much. Oh, I'm going to get the weight off. Oh, I'm going to get the weight off. Oh, I'm going to start tomorrow.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going to do this. Oh, I'm going to do that. And he said that, you know, he thought he was only hurting himself, right? He said like, oh, I'm only lying to myself. It's not affecting nobody else. It's my weight. It's my body. And then he realized that, you know, lying to himself was affecting everybody in his life. Because A, now they're not taking you as seriously because you keep telling them you're going to do something and not do it. B, he was talking about how he would have to play essentially Twister to have sex with his wife. He's got to put his foot on red and put his, you know, other foot on yellow and lift and turn and fucking angle and like, is it there yet? You know, and granted, he's 200 pounds heavier than you.
Yeah.
Right? But the similarities are, it's just like he had to have somebody else play with his kids. Like he physically couldn't play with his kids. He had to have like his, I forget who it was, but he said he would have his buddy or somebody come over and throw the football with his son because he physically couldn't do it.
Yeah.
He physically couldn't go on walks with them, right? And he talks about how he just realized that all that lying to himself was affecting everybody, and that he was like, oh, dude, this is not just me in this. It's not just like, it's like, this is affecting everybody in my life.
Yeah.
And he was like, fuck that.
Yeah.
And so I
Yeah. And I feel like I feel like having kids like definitely puts things in more perspective of that. Like I couldn't imagine that, like having to have someone come and like play with your kid. Like it's definitely like, it was one of the biggest motivators for me to like, I saw the writing on the wall. Like I saw like my oldest like getting like older, like she was like 2 and like wanting to roughhouse. Exactly. And like I wanted to be able to keep up with her and not feel like I was like struggling. Cause that's what it was like. Like I was on the struggle bus, like playing with a 2-year-old. So I just started like from then on, like I started like looking into, like I said, GLPs, started on one, and that's what kicked the whole thing off. Started doing, so before I even got on a prescription for a GLP, I started going on daily walks, started looking up weighted walks. And so I got a weight vest, started doing that, little by little, like started seeing the weight come off, and then just kept going with it. And then started jiu-jitsu 5 months ago. And then that really like pushed me even further to start like working on things and going from there. And now down 120 pounds.
Oh yeah. What has been, or I guess, so we'll start with the GLPs. I think largely still not a big fan, but on the flip side, I think once you hit a certain weight and a certain size, it's fucking better than dying.
Yeah.
Right. Like,
no, 100%. Like it, and that's the thing. Like the first time around I did this, I did it like pure, like on, I mean, I was also like in my 20s, so it was that much easier, to like really like drill down and like watch what I was eating, don't overeat. And I think the GLP this time around like helped me to even like stop drinking, which was probably like one of the bigger things this time around, was I was just drinking a bunch and like still I wasn't eating good. I was overeating, I was drinking, I was just going like I was still in my 20s. And the GLP definitely like gave me that little push to get me past that, to not be interested in drinking.
It probably also helped like kickstart the results.
That too, yeah.
Because it's extremely frustrating. Jelly talked about this as well. So Jelly didn't do any GLP-1s.
Yeah.
He did take like a very small dose of I don't remember now. Anyways, he didn't take any GLP-1s. He said he was terrified of it because one of the side effects is it fucks your gut up. And he had already had a really bad gut, and so he was just like, I don't want to make that worse. That seems awful.
Yeah.
And so he started, and he said for 3 months, he really lost nearly no weight.
Yeah.
And at 550 pounds, that could be really frustrating.
Yeah.
It's like, how the fuck am I not losing any weight? I'm 550 pounds, I got plenty of weight to lose.
Yeah.
And so I could see how, that would be very discouraging. If you're not very strong mentally, that would just make you not want to continue. And so I could see the benefits to a GLP-1 at the beginning there, where you're like, okay, the number's going down. It's probably easier now to keep going.
Yeah.
Also, I think you're doing it, so with the GLP-1s, again, I think it's better than the alternative, dying.
Yes.
Jelly Roll was going to die pretty much. He said he was about to turn 40, 550 pounds. There's not too many people over 40 that size.
Yeah.
He had already had a scare with his heart anyways. There was a very good chance that there was a heart attack looming somewhere in the next couple of years, right? And obviously the alternative is better than that. But one of the things that kind of changed my mind on GLPs, because I was always curious. I was like, man, we know these things have some pretty nasty side effects, right? You can go blind. Like, there's a huge lawsuit right now going on. 1,800 people went blind because of Ozempic. They're suing. That's a pretty big deal. That's a large number. That's one of those numbers where you're like, ooh, I can do what, dog? Now that is a risk that is that's kind of scary. That's kind of close to that reward. It's like, yeah, I know I need to lose the weight, but if I lose my sight and the weight, did it really,
Yeah.
And so
a skinny blind person.
yeah, I could see the hesitation there, right?
Yeah.
And so that kind of really threw me off because that came out pretty early. And then I've heard of the gut things and like kind of messing up people's guts. And then I knew people personally. My ex's dad was on Ozempic or on some kind of GLP. I want to say it was Ozempic. And I mean, dude, it was killing him. He had zero appetite.
Mm-hmm.
He was not eating at all. His body was just eating itself.
Yeah.
And we know the older you are, you have to have muscle mass. Muscle mass is so important. It's so important for our function. And so those are the kind of like the three things: the potential going blind, the potential potential gut ruining, and then lastly was like it was eating people's muscles because they were just taking GLP-1s and they were not also supplementing with some kind of weight training, strength and conditioning, some kind of sport, some kind of activity to help replenish that muscle. And so it's just eating muscle as well because it's just you're losing weight, you're eating muscle and fat. That's just how it goes.
Yeah.
And so all those things, I was like, oh, fuck no, don't ever take those.
Yeah.
I was vehemently against those.
Yeah.
And then Brigham came on Joe Rogan the most recent time.
Yeah.
And again, I was always like, if we know all these things, why is Waste Well still selling these? I was like, your guys are supposed to be this preventative healthcare, like this preventative company, this company that we look towards as trying to do the right thing, trying to really push health in the right direction. Why the fuck are y'all selling these when we know these things are happening? And then he comes on and he talks about it. And he was like, look, it's a dosing issue.
Yeah.
And that, to me, immediately made so much sense because we had the same thing with Oxycontin. It was a dosing issue. And they were getting paid based on the dosage. And so they had Oxycontin pills. They were like 180, I think they got up to 180 milligrams at one point. And people were just, they would take that, done. GG's. And so he was explaining how largely with GLP-1s, that was the same thing.
Yeah.
They were just dosing people up.
Yeah.
And if you do it correctly, with the correct dose, which is, again, why I think it's so important. A, you talk about that you were on GLPs, and then B, you also talk about the dosing because you're not having these adverse side effects. You're still eating.
Well, also, too, I started on Wegovy, which is basically Ozempic. So there's Ozempic for diabetes, and then the same exact drug, but it's prescribed for weight loss as Wegovy. But
and then Mounjaro.
And then there's Mounjaro, and then Zepbound. Yeah. So I started on Wegovy, and I was still with that online thing, and every month they were just going up on the dose regardless. So I was after, and I don't.
Doses,
so you started
a lower dose.
So you started
upping it
exactly. So you start at.
Why? And I don't say why.
No, it was just an automatic thing because it's all through an app. So it's just
so crazy.
I'm going to refill, and they're like, okay, well, you've been on this one for a month, so you start on the next one the following month. So it was 0.25, and then you jump up to 0.5, and then 1 whatever. I don't remember the exact.
And so what did you start to notice as the dosing was going up?
Definitely more side effects. So when I started the original, the first base dose that they start you on, it was mild nausea a day of. And then that was really it. I didn't have any gut issues or anything like that. As I started to get higher on the Wegovy specifically, it was definitely more nausea, more stomach issues. But that was really it. It was only ever those two things. Then randomly my insurance stopped covering the Wegovy, so I had to switch over to Zepbound. So I did the conversion over. So I was at the highest dose of Wegovy that you could go, and I was on that for a few months, and then switched over to Zepbound. And I'm not even at the highest dose of what Zepbound is. I'm just at the equivalent, whatever the math is for those two drugs, because they're not I think the highest for Wegovy is 2.4. And then the equivalent of that in Zepbound is 10 milligrams. So I'm just at that. And I've been at that now for maybe 5 months. We haven't adjusted it at all. And no issues with the Zepbound whatsoever. I don't get nausea. I don't have any stomach issues. I don't have anything like that. There was really bad. You could really tell that with the Wegovy, one of the things is because it slows your the processing down or whatever, gut motility. So like I noticed that with that one, like it was really bad, like constipation, like things like that. With Zepbound, like I don't have anything like that at all now. It's just, it's not even necessarily reduced appetite. I think the best way to put it is I just don't have food noise. Like I don't think about food. Like I can see something good and be like, ooh, and like I'll still eat it, but I'm not like prior to like being on a GLP, like I would like think about food like all the time. I don't know. It's hard to explain. Like food noise is probably like the easiest way to put it, is that like thinking about that, like seeing stuff on Instagram and being like, ooh, like now, like it's different. Like I can still see it and be like, that looks good. Like we should make that, but it's not like, it doesn't like take over.
Oh, bro. Look, there's a reason why I train 6 to 7 days a week, sometimes 2 days, because it's a problem.
Yeah.
I get it. Like that's probably the addiction. That's probably the one addiction that I probably have the most empathy towards, just personally, just because that's the one I personally truly understand.
Yeah.
Like drug addictions, I've never personally done anything that people often get super addicted to. So it's, with the exception of nicotine. Nicotine had me by the balls for like 3 months, and then I was like, oh, this, I can't, like, this is not good.
Yeah.
I feel that. Like, I feel that desire. But food addiction, dude, I mean, that's one that I definitely understand, because, I mean, fuck, dude, I thank God my metabolism's fast. And B, thank God that I work out as much as I do, because it would be a problem. Like, and I'm terrified of gaining weight, because I know that this is probably one of the hardest things that people can do. Like, to lose 130 pounds, 300 pounds, 200 pounds, to do that, that's tough.
Yeah.
Because I can only imagine those first couple of weeks of lifting or working out or going on these long walks or running or anything like that. I can only imagine how fucking sore, how discouraging it could be if that weight's not going down, all these different things. And then food is everywhere.
Yeah.
It's everywhere.
Well, yeah, and it's at your fingertips. Like you have DoorDash.
Anywhere.
Literally.
All the time.
Yeah.
All times of the day.
Yeah.
So I can only imagine, right? And so, but how are you making sure that you're still eating enough?
So that was probably at first, that was my biggest struggle. And that's where it's really taken discipline to make sure. So I've set like a schedule of like, so I wake up in the morning, because you have to really focus on protein intake when you're on a GLP. So being super mindful about that to make sure that I'm getting enough, so that I don't end up with like muscle wasting or anything like that. Because I'm technically, I would assume I'm still in a deficit, like calorie wise, but just being mindful about what I'm eating. So I wake up in the morning, I have a protein shake that I put a bunch of different crap in to bump it up to like almost 100, it's almost 100 grams of protein. So I start with that, and then at about 11:30, I make sure that I have lunch. So I'll have something then. So it's either I'll do like chicken and eggs or steak and eggs or steak and rice or something that's like, that I feel is healthy and like hitting good numbers on like a protein count. And then, so I'll do that. And then depending on how I feel, like mid-afternoon, I'll have like another protein shake or some fruit. And then dinner is hit or miss. It's whatever like the kids want at that point, because they're home from daycare. So that's really like, we'll have like spaghetti, or we'll have, they love Hamburger Helper right now. So we'll have like Hamburger Helper, things like that. But even that, like, well, what's good about having like 2 kids is they'll eat more than me now. So I don't end up having, I don't have the like risk of seconds. Exactly. Cause that was definitely like one of my things is like, I love food. So if there's more left, I'm going to have like another bowl. And even on a GLP, like if it's good, like pizza is still like one of my things that like, if we order pizza, like I could still kill half a pizza easy. Yeah. Like that's one of the things that a GLP hasn't clicked off for me, is like my favorite foods are still my favorite foods, and I could still overeat on those, but it's just having the discipline now to like not do it.
Okay, so then that brings me to my question, right? What's going to stop you this time? What is different this time, or what have you learned this time that's not going to allow you to gain this weight back?
Honestly, I think it's just discipline. It's having the discipline to continue going, because I know now after gaining it all back, like without lack of discipline on what you're eating or how much you're eating, really it's how much you're eating for me, to not overeat and realize that like just because you're not full in that moment doesn't mean you won't be full a few minutes later. It's like realizing that like it takes a little bit for your gut to like catch up, to tell yourself like you don't need to keep eating.
Yeah. Well, it's like with the GLPs, you're going to hit your goal weight at some point.
Yeah.
There again, we're talking long-term studies. There's nothing. We don't know what the side effects are staying on those 5, 6, 7 years, right? So at some point, you're probably going to have to come off. So that food noise has it's going to come back.
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts there? And because one thing that Jelly Roll talks about is he actually worked with a psychologist in order to help reinvent the way that he thought about it and really break that food addiction.
Yeah.
So because he did it without GLP, so he's having that food noise the entire time.
Yeah.
So now he's had to deal with that for the last 2 years as he's dropped all this weight. He's had to deal with that the entire time.
Yeah.
Whereas this has been something that's been shut off for you. So what happens when that comes back?
Honestly, it's definitely something that like scares me. And I'm hoping that setting everything up the way that I've set it up now will help me to be successful future state. But it's definitely something that like does freak me out. Like it scares me because I do admit that I use it as somewhat of a crutch because I know I don't think about those things. But I'm hoping that because I've done what I've done and I've set up the things that I've set up, that I'm hopeful that I can continue down that path because I've set up those systems. Like I have this in the morning and I know for lunch I'm going to do this, that kind of stuff to like set myself up for success.
Yeah.
I think is like, I think that's, I mean, other than talking to psychologists and figuring out like why food is that for me. But I think also too, like working out and like finding other things to kind of obsess over, helps you to not think about that. Because it's like with anything, like if you, like even with work, if you like, sometimes you'll get stuck on a project or doing something at work and then you'll forget to eat. And I think it's that same thing, like trying to tap into that with other things so that you're not necessarily thinking about food.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's very similar to what he said, right? Redirecting that energy.
Yeah.
Right? And I think this is pretty common amongst people who break an addiction. Usually they pick up a new addiction.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's a good addiction.
Yeah.
Right? Because that's the thing, right? Addiction / obsession go hand in hand, foot after foot.
Yeah.
And obsession can lead to the greatest and best things of life. Being obsessed with something is not a bad thing. Being addicted to something can also not be a bad thing, right? I am addicted and obsessed with making sure that I am as healthy as and in tune as possible, to the point where I drive Taylor crazy, right? Like I'm so obsessed with it. If we make something, right? Like if we hamburger helper, for instance, right? If we're gonna eat something like that, we're gonna make it from scratch. Like I'm so like adamant about it.
Yeah.
Right. That she has accepted it to this point.
Yeah.
But it's like, we're just gonna have to make it from scratch. Like, that's just gonna be the reality. And that's and
it's not a bad thing. Like I get it. Like I definitely like there's like some like dad guilt when I'm like doing hamburger helper.
Yeah.
Like I definitely have that, but
yeah,
I also have 2 kids and I have to like do it quick. So I'm like,
but at the same time though, right? Like you have to make sure that they're also set up.
No, and you're not wrong. And I think if you like set yourself up to, I think part of it is like last minute planning. So it's like, we have this, I'm just going to make it real quick. Whereas like if we make tacos, like I'll make that from scratch and I'll like make my own like seasoning and stuff like that. And actually, like we just got that Redmond's taco seasoning.
Hell yeah.
So shout out to Redmond.
Code Brody.
So we'll use that now. But yeah, like I think it goes back to that, like setting yourself up. So I'm not opposed to like making it from scratch. It's just it's not convenient. But if you set yourself up to know like this is what I'm going to need to do that, then you can be successful in it.
And when I say from scratch, now there is definitely things that we make. Like if we make hamburger help, like it's some, beef stroganoff. She makes a fucking amazing one, right? Like we made tomato soup yesterday from scratch.
Yeah, I saw that.
I guess so. Really, what my priority is, or what I'm very adamant about, is like ingredient improved.
Yeah.
Or approved. Excuse me. Ingredient approved. And what I mean by that is, whatever we buy, just turn it around. Look at the label real quick.
Yeah.
Can I read everything on that? If the answer is yes, and I know what they all are, and it's all real food, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
She can make cookies, cake, whatever. Is everything that went in there real?
Yeah.
And if the answer is yes,
then good to go.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
I'm good, right? So that's really what I mean when I say from scratch. It's not that we don't also make things from scratch, but I also mean just like the things that are going into it, I just want to make sure it is real food.
No, I get what you're saying, because we got a ranch dressing the other day thinking it was like one of the better options, and then we got home and we were like, yeah, this should be good, and then we looked on the other side of the label and there's like this random stuff in it, and we were like, why do you even need that? Like, why does it have whatever it was?
It's to cut the cost of making it.
Yeah.
And increase profit.
Yeah.
They're probably attached to a public company, and and that's the reality of things. They're attached to a public company, and that public company has to continue to make more money every quarter. Okay, how does a food company do that? Well, they're not fucking selling merch. You're not buying a Tyson t-shirt.
I might.
Somebody. But
no, I get what you're saying.
Driving, right?
Yeah.
That's not gonna push the needle for them, right? That's not what they're coming up with. They're not making they're not making a Tyson land.
I should have worn a Tyson headband.
Right. They're not making a Tyson land. Huh?
With your butter headband?
Yeah. I wish I got a butter headband. And so you're not going to Tyson land.
Yeah.
Right. They're not making up money in other creative fashions. Yeah. They probably could if they tried.
Chicken nugget land.
Yeah, they probably could if they tried, but there's probably a little bit of don't care. There's probably a little bit of, well, there's no science saying any of this stuff is bad. Look, people are getting larger and larger. People are getting more and more unhealthy, and we're just getting better and better at keeping them alive.
Yeah.
That's just the reality of the whole system. And so, in order for them to then make sure that they're increasing profit year over year, well, they just cut out the amount of real ingredients and they put a synthetic or a preservative or something else in there where it still tastes the same. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it might even taste better.
Yeah.
And they just do that. And then now they're making more money off of it. They can charge the same or increase price and continue to increase the profit at the same time. So double whammy. And so look, from like a business perspective, it kind of makes sense. And I'm sure the CEOs aren't thinking like, oh, this is hurting people more. I'm sure they're not even really thinking about it. They're just looking at it from a numbers game. They're looking at how much the ingredients cost. Okay, so how much can we cut by cutting out this ingredient and adding this ingredient? Okay, you can cut the cost by 12 cents per. Okay, that's going to increase profit margins by 6%. Okay, we can report that back to the stock numbers, And it's like, okay, all that makes sense. I don't want any part of that.
Yeah.
I want no part of that. I don't want any of that shit in my food. I don't care if it really makes that big of a difference or doesn't make that big of a difference. I know how I feel when I don't eat like that, and I know how I feel when I do eat like that.
Yeah.
And there's a difference. I can tell the difference. I think if a lot of people could take a pill that made them feel like the majority of us who take really, really good care of ourselves, I think that a lot of people would take that pill.
Yeah.
And so the long-winded explanation of that's what is important to me is when I go and get bread, I want to see 3 ingredients, not 100.
Yeah.
And if I can get 3 ingredients, fine. Okay. Like the tortilla chips. It's 3 fucking ingredients. That's all I want.
Yeah.
If it's more than that, done.
Yeah.
No, I'm not interested. I don't care how good it tastes, because those chips taste phenomenal without all of it.
Yeah.
I don't need it, right? And I think now more than ever there is ample amount of brands in the grocery stores that are meeting these requirements.
Yeah.
Every single day, every single time Taylor goes, she probably goes maybe once or twice a week to H-E-B. Every single time she comes home with some new ingredient improved thing that I would have never imagined in the last 10, 15 years they would ever sell at the grocery store.
Yeah.
And now she comes home with a barbecue sauce, or she comes home with all these different things that would have been like a ranch.
Yeah.
That are very difficult to find good ones.
Yeah.
It's a challenge. You really have to surf through all of them. And I get it. You're on a time, people are on a time crunch. People are trying to get in and out of the store. It takes a little bit more effort. I understand.
Yeah.
Right? But
we have options now, so.
We do.
I will say, it is mostly H-E-B.
H-E-B does have
Walmart. I tried to find some stuff
yeah,
at Walmart, and you can't find it.
Yeah, they're less concerned.
Yeah.
And so
Sprouts is good
it's
too.
definitely an H-E-B.
Yeah, Whole Foods, Sprouts, Trader Joe's, H-E-B. And
Trader Joe's surprisingly too, yeah.
Thank God for H-E-B. Because H-E-B is a blend of more expensive items and less expensive items. And there's a lot of things in the middle. Like those tortilla chips are not any more expensive than, what's the main tortilla chip brand? Tostitos,
yeah.
It's not that fucking more expensive.
Yeah.
Like maybe $1. Like how many bags of chips are you buying to justify saving that $1? Like how many bags of chips are you buying? And why are you
know how many chips I eat?
Why are you buying that? Yeah, why are you buying that many chips? Why are you eating that many chips in the first place, right? And so there's got to be some.
Well, it is funny how if I handed you just like a corn tortilla or like a stack of corn tortillas, I'm like, here you go, you want to eat those? Be like, no. Be like, oh, let me fry them up real quick, and then you'll eat all of them.
It's like mozzarella sticks. You want to eat 8 cheese sticks? No. Mozzarella sticks, though?
Yeah.
I can take 8.
Fry those up, and I will eat all of them.
Yeah, but just fry them up in beef tallow.
Yeah.
Boom. Then boom.
You could make your own tortilla chips.
Yeah. Yeah, just stop.
Just fry them up in beef tallow.
Yeah, just stop frying my shit in canola oil.
Yeah.
It's really not. I guess from my perspective, I've been doing it for so long. I've been like this since I was 19. And so it's like, none of this seems that difficult to me because I've been doing it now for 12 years.
Yeah.
Or 13 years, right? And so all of this is just routine for me. When I go to this grocery store, it's just normal. I pick something up, I turn it around, I quickly glance at it, I can point it out. You can also kind of tell by the label. You can kind of tell by the brands. If it's a major food brand, 9 times out of 10, don't do it. It's not going to be it. Because at this point, they've hit a certain area where they have maxed out their profits, and the only legitimate alternative is to put shit in there that's cheaper.
Yeah. Well, what is interesting about that too is like because you know how the labels work, that like the number one item is like the highest percentage within that. It's interesting to see when you go for something. I can't think of anything off the top of my head, but like let's say you're like looking at
chocolate syrup.
Yeah, and then chocolate is like the fifth thing on the ingredient list, and you're like, wait a second, like why is there more of this?
First one's corn syrup.
Yeah,
almost always. First or second ingredient is corn syrup. Like.
Actually, maple syrup is a good example of that too. Like when you're looking at syrup, when you're looking at the syrups, and then you see that it's just corn syrup, and then like maple flavor at the very bottom.
Which is crazy because maple syrup is something that exists.
Yeah,
just maple syrup, right? So why the fuck does my maple syrup have 7 ingredients? Make it make sense. Maple syrup is a thing, right?
How shelf stable is maple syrup? It is, right?
Yeah, it's just more expensive because Aunt Jemima is so big at this point.
She's not there anymore.
No, it's not.
Pearl, what is it? Pearl Milling Co. They fired Aunt Jemima.
Maple syrup can last for years, it says.
Years? So there
is no advantage outside of increasing profit.
There is a taste difference.
Real maple syrup is way better.
Oh, I agree. My wife
better.
My wife likes the Aunt Jemima.
I think a lot of that shit's in people's heads. I don't believe that, dude. You just
I love me some Aunt Jemima butter syrup. Butter syrup is
And there's probably not even butter in it.
No,
Probably not.
dude.
It's like the stuff they use at movie
Yeah,
theaters.
probably not, dude. The perfect example, unfortunately, this is gonna bother some people. The perfect example is the H-E-B bakery. People think, and this is unfortunate, and I think this is where society has failed us, or education has failed us, because people go to the H-E-B bakery and they think because that bread is fresh that it's healthy.
Mm-hmm.
The ingredient list is the exact same, if not longer.
Now you're breaking my heart.
I know.
I didn't even think about that.
I know. It's the exact same, if not longer, than just going into the shitty bread aisle and getting the shitty bread.
Yeah.
It is unfortunate.
Although I have noticed that with sourdough, like you can go to like the farmer's market and you're getting like what is it, 3 ingredients, like water, flour, and then their starter.
Yeah.
Or in salt. Yeah. So, which I guess would fall under the flour. So it'd be water, flour, salt. And then you get sourdough at the grocery store and there's like all sorts of other different things in it.
Fucking like 30 ingredients long. Why?
To keep it, make it last longer.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah, it has to be, it's to make it more shelf stable because
bread goes so quickly.
But that's the thing though. If I'm going
I've noticed that when you buy like legit sourdough, like
you have to keep it in the fridge.
Yeah.
Dude, it doesn't go. Dude, I keep sourdough loaves in the fridge for 2 weeks. Easy peasy. No mold. Doesn't even get stale yet.
A lot of people leave their bread on the counter though.
Yeah.
And so that's
if you leave it on the counter, it's like
really
days.
quickly. Yeah, it's really
Put it in the
quick.
fridge.
But you can freeze it too. Like I've done that where we freeze it and then we take it out per slice.
Yeah, I have no issues, right? Now, granted, there's not actually an ingredient list on my sourdough now that I think about it, but maybe I'm getting fucked. I don't know. But my point is, like, if I'm the H-E-B bakery, I'm not expecting it to stay there. So the preservatives and like staying on the shelf miss me with that bullshit.
Yeah.
That's not the reason. The reason is because it is cheaper to.
Yeah.
They make more money off of it. The tortillas, the same thing, unfortunately. I fucking ate them for a very long time.
I still do. They're so good.
They are. But they're not.
It's not flour,
They're
water.
not better than the tortillas I get from the farmer's market.
No.
They're just not.
Yeah, they don't compare to like my grandma making tortillas.
They're just not. So you, like, again, miss me with that one too. And it's like, sorry, I know, like, that bakery is fire. Like, I understand. The food is good.
Yeah,
like,
but they're doing the same thing.
The butter tortillas are good.
Yeah.
Never had them.
Oh, they're good. They're so good.
They're so good.
But unfortunately, the reality is they're doing the exact same thing as what we're talking about. They're increasing profit by using less real ingredients and putting more preservatives and more additives and more things in there to just increase the amount that they make off of it.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't taste any better. Again, I go to the farmer's market, I get real tortillas, deep fried in beef tallow, and they're out of this world. Even she loves them. They're out, I mean, she knows, she's like, yeah, those are fucking good.
Yeah.
Right? And, it's, that's where I get really angry about a lot of this stuff. For instance, I hate that the UFC is sponsored by Prime. I despise that.
That's that
so
drink,
much.
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I despise that so much because the UFC should be promoting things that are actually healthy for people, that are helping people, that are really doing the things that they are supposed to do. Prime, dude, I mean, there's like 50 ingredients in there. When you taste it, your body immediately. Have you ever had one?
No. I know. I kind of know what it is. Like I tried to say, like,
I want you to buy one.
Now you're just trying to kill me.
No, I mean, maybe. I want you to buy one. Okay, next time you're at the gas station, get one. And I want you to tell me what your immediate reaction is the second it hits your tongue.
Yeah.
Because again, it's marketed as this healthy drink,
Yeah.
super good for you, it's replenishing you, it's electrolytes. Bro, the second it hit my tongue, my body went, bullshit. It's too fucking good. It tastes too good.
Just tastes like liquid plastic.
Way too good, dude. It tastes like candy. Better than candy.
Yeah.
It's so good. And I'm like, bullshit.
Yeah.
And I've never had another one again because my body immediately was like, hell nah. I've been eating healthy for too long. I know bullshit when I taste bullshit. I'm like, that tastes too good.
Yeah.
That's bullshit. You're bullshitting me. I know that that's not healthy, man. And then I looked over and looked at all the ingredients and I was like, motherfucker, they got my ass. They got me.
Yeah.
They're just too good.
Yeah.
And my body knew immediately. The second I tasted it, I was like,
Now I need to go get one.
Dude, it's ridiculous. South Park did a whole episode on it.
Really?
Because of it. Yeah. Yeah, so it's filtered water, coconut water, citric acid, the D-potassium phosphate, trimagnesium citrate, natural flavor, sucralose, L-isoleucine, L-leucine, L-valine, D-alpha, da-da-da-da-da, retinol, what the fuck is that?
That's vitamin A.
Pyridoxine hydroxychloride, which is apparently vitamin B6.
And then B12. Cyanocobalamin.
I don't know. Maybe they're not that bad. I don't fucking know, dude. All I know is just like my electrolytes is just salt, magnesium, and potassium. I don't know if all that other stuff is necessary. That just sounds like fake potassium.
Calories.
It just sounds like fake potassium.
It is super low sodium.
Yeah, it's pretty high in potassium. High in vitamin A, vitamin B12. So like it could just be me being picky. Scroll back down real quick though. Asulfam potassium. Now just go look up Redmond Relight. I'm just curious, what is potassium listed on it as an ingredient? Because that just sounds fake to me. That sounds like some manufactured potassium, right?
Potassium.
Or retinol palmitate, where it says vitamin A, is like that.
Retinol palmitate. Yeah.
That just seems like I don't know. Again, maybe that's just me being picky. Maybe I'm completely off. Derek No Plates. Derek No Plates or more plates, more dates. He said that most people really don't have any issues from with sucralose. So I've kind of maybe like became a little bit more. I guess less stringent on sucralose.
Mm-hmm.
And so look, like there's just potassium in there. So like,
citric acid, natural watermelon, lemon and lime flavors. So they use a different. So there's vitamin or no. I thought that was vitamin A, but it's not. It's whatever that word is. So that's like a little bit of sweetener.
Yeah.
Well, what are those natural flavors?
I was just going to say
natural flavors probably beaver bubble, because that's one of them.
So it's derived from real fruit.
It says dehydrated fruit.
And then they just use the blanket term natural flavors for those.
Mm-hmm. So it's not beaver butthole flavored, don't worry.
Hey, if that's true, I can get down with that, dude.
I mean, it is good. Like
that's why I use the shit. It tastes good. It's good. Again, code Brodey for 15% off checkout. It's good stuff. And it just look. I just don't want a bajillion ingredients. After rereading the Prime one, maybe they changed it. I feel like it was longer. Maybe not. I don't know.
They got sued, but I could be making that up.
Prime?
Yeah.
Did they get sued?
I think so, but I could be making that up.
Well, let's find out.
Fake news.
Yeah, let's find out, because that would be crazy. I wonder what they got sued for. Because I feel like the ingredient list was longer. It seems more tailored now. Again, like I said, Derek from More Plates, More Dates was saying that sucralose doesn't seem to have an adverse effect on most of the population. So, okay, so maybe it's unnecessary for me to really care about that. I don't know.
Yeah.
All I know is that the lawsuit of misleading consumers by marketing it's a sports drink as a healthy product despite containing PFAS, which are harmful to human health. What's PFAS?
Isn't that the plastic from the bottle?
I think so.
Thousands of human-made chemicals known as forever chemicals because they don't break down easily. So that's not good. I'm sure anybody could have been guilty of that.
Yeah, I was about to say, it seems kind of weird because I feel like every product now, especially if it's in a plastic bottle.
I think the reasoning behind it though is because they were selling it as a healthy product.
And so that's what so that was my whole point. Back to my point is that people are turning to these things because I think people are trying to make a conscious effort of being healthier.
Yeah.
And instead of just taking kind of the approach that I believe in, it's just eat real food.
Yeah.
Eat lots of protein and let everything else fall into place. Max out your protein, fucking stuff your plate with protein, and then let everything else find its way.
Yeah.
Right? That's my take. That's how I've done it. That's what I feel like is the easiest way to explain to somebody. But the issue is that a lot of people are turning to, whether it's a prime drink, these hydration drinks, or a lot of these protein drinks that are just filled with garbage.
Yeah.
And it's sad to me because a lot of these people think that they are doing a better job, but in reality, they're taking in just a lot of extra garbage, a lot of unnecessary things, a lot of things that we don't know what the long-term effects are. We don't know how this is going to impact you in 20 years. It was always kind of the same thing when someone would go get a salad and they would put, an excess amount of ranch on it or an excess amount of Caesar dressing. It's people just weren't educated knowing that all the calories are just coming from the dressing.
Yeah.
Easily you're hitting 600, 700 calories just from the dressing. And you're like, holy shit. But a lot of people didn't know that, right? Now people do, and time has caught up, science has caught up, etc. And so people have kind of gone away from that. And we also know that probably not the healthiest thing to do is just to have a salad all day.
Yeah.
So a lot of people are making these conscious efforts, but then they're getting screwed over by marketing. And so the marketing is just then shifted to now health products. And a lot of them are just bullshit. Apparently there's just a lot of fake supplements on Amazon in general.
Oh, really?
Yeah, just fake supplements that don't have the ingredients in it that they say they do, or have the vitamins that they say they do, and they're just made in foreign countries, and there's just nothing you have no idea what you're getting.
Yeah.
It's the reason why I do pay a little bit of a surplus for my peptides through Ways to Well, because I don't know. There's so many peptide companies popping up, and just knowing people as people and human nature and shortcuts, and people are going to take shortcuts, and knowing that, for a long time creatine was very tainted depending on where it was. People thought creatine was a steroid.
Yeah.
Some of it had to do with how it was being made, and it was being made in the same little trays as actual anabolic steroids, and so people were popping for steroids.
Yeah, when they were just taking creatine. Yeah.
And all these things, and it's who's to say your peptides aren't slightly mixed with something else, or made in the same lab as something else, or getting contaminated? And so I do pay a little bit extra. People are like, why don't you just go through this company? It's going to be way cheaper. And it might be.
Yeah.
And it might be unwarranted.
Yeah.
But there's just a part of me that I'm like, dude, all of these companies are popping up all over the place. And I'm like,
I feel like having 100% confidence in something that you're going to be putting into your body makes sense.
Injected.
Exactly. Yeah. No, I was super stoked when I saw that my clinic was using the same compounding pharmacy as Ways to Well, and it made me feel that much better about the BPC.
Yeah. And look, who knows, dude? Ways to Well might be just, they might be full of shit. I don't know, but I do, again, Brigham goes out and puts his name on things.
Yeah, 100%.
His name is attached to so much. He's done all these long form podcasts.
Yeah.
I feel like I know who he is. I've listened to hours and hours and hours, and the story stays the same.
Yeah.
There's not a big bullshit meter. I feel like anybody, especially men, we're likely to talk in hyperboles. We might exaggerate something. We might make something seem bigger than it is. Like, yeah, like, oh, that's the worst thing for you. Or, you know, we talk some shit.
Yeah.
Right? I feel like it's very common, something men do very often. And so there's always, you know, some kind of level of grace, right? But again, he puts his name on it. And so, look, you know, 10 years from now, when shit comes out, he's lying, okay, well then, fuck, I was wrong.
Yeah.
But at the moment, he puts his name on the thing. His name's out there. He's doing the long forms. He's having the debates. He's leading this change. And so I'm likely to trust that.
No, 100%.
That's what I want to trust.
Well, and the thing is too, I working in the medical field, and when I hear the things that he's saying, even from that aspect, like he's not wrong. So it makes me, it's that same thing that you talked about. Like my bullshit meter doesn't go off because he is saying things that I do know to be true. So it's one of those things that like I trust the other things that he's saying because like the other stuff is true. So my bullshit meter doesn't go off.
And he's putting himself out there for criticism.
Because not only that, because anything that he could be saying that's incorrect, like he's liable for, even more so for like leading a clinic like Ways to Well. So like if he was saying anything that was incorrect, like I feel like we would hear about it.
That's how I feel about it.
Yeah.
Right? Because he's on Joe Rogan, who is so heavily scrutinized for one reason or another. I'm literally sitting next to some random dude in IMAX theater. We're talking, and I mentioned something about Elon talking on Joe Rogan about how AI is not regulated, and we're about to run into a big issue. And that was in like 2016, and how he's warned everybody like, hey, this is going to get really out of control. And now we're at the point where it is out of control, and there's now companies on the internet that will take your Sora video and remove the watermark. Those companies are making money by doing that. And so now there is just AI videos all over the internet that you just can't vet no more.
Yeah.
Because the whole point of Sora was the fact that it said Sora.
Yeah, so you knew.
And now suddenly, I feel like I haven't seen that watermark in like at least 2 or 3, 4 weeks now. And I'm like, and it didn't occur to me. And then I learned about those companies, and I was like, oh, it's not that those videos just like people just weren't using Sora anymore.
Yeah.
Oh no, they're just taking the watermark off.
And it's hard to distinguish now. Like I find myself on like social media, like seeing something and being like, I don't know, I can't tell anymore. Like I don't know. Like I think this is fake. I mean, obviously there's the ones that like are super fake, but then there's others.
8 fingers.
Yeah, I always look at the hands. I'm like, do they got 5 fingers?
Yeah. But this Steve Rogers Doomsday clip is going around.
Oh yeah. Well, that one. So
I don't know if it's real.
The story with that is it did leak, and then somebody ran it through AI to clean it up. So it is partially AI. But it's supposedly real.
But I haven't seen any like.
You just went to the wrong avatar.
I haven't seen I haven't seen any worthy person on Twitter repost it saying it's true. I've only seen these like questionable accounts posted.
What is interesting about it, where I think there's some validity, is that it's getting pulled down. It's getting copyright stricken from Disney.
Interesting.
The same with the Spider-Man one leaked too as well. For the new Spider-Man Brand New Day, and Sony is trying to take it down as quickly as it's getting posted, because apparently there's a thing where they show trailers to people, like you have to sign all these NDAs and you get to watch trailers and give your notes on it. So this person recorded the new Spider-Man trailer from doing one of those and then leaked it, and I think that's the thing that gives it validity, is that Sony's pulling it down under copyright. And I don't think you could get it pulled down for if it was fake. Like you could
because it's
but not under copyright.
Well, I guess maybe not under copyright, but I guess my thought process is that if they're promoting the movie falsely, I feel like that's also illegal.
True, but then there are also all of those like people that make AI trailers that are
fan made stuff.
Exactly, that doesn't get pulled. But maybe because this got got viral traction, that's why, and they don't want people.
Maybe also because we know it's fan made and they say it's fan made.
Maybe that too.
But not always. They don't always say it's fan made.
I don't know. It is.
That's
It's interesting because anytime that anything does leak, Disney/Sony, depending on who it is, does start pulling them down, and it's only with those. Like I've seen tons of like fake Doomsday trailers for the new Avengers movie, and like they're just out there.
Yeah.
But with these, when stuff starts to take hold and they're pulling it down, it usually means that there's something there.
Yeah, interesting.
Because a few things have leaked before, even with like Endgame and Infinity War and stuff like that, and they were doing the same thing. They were getting them pulled.
So maybe maybe that.
Or even like, you know what's a good example, when the last Spider-Man movie, when all of those pictures were coming out of like Tobey and Andrew Garfield, and those were getting pulled down, and then obviously like everybody was like, no, that's fake, that doesn't look real, and then it turns out it was actually like the end of the movie.
Interesting.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah. Yeah, so I wonder, so maybe it is, because I guess the like alleged storyline is there's Steve Rogers in the Ice Cube, and then there's Steve Rogers who stays with
Peggy.
Stays there, they have a kid, and since there's two Steve Rogers, it causes an incursion in the timeline, and that causes Dr. Doom to lose his kid, and now he's going after Steve Rogers. It's the alleged storyline that I've heard attached to that video.
I don't know how they're going to do it either, because Doom is supposed to be... It's supposed to tie into Endgame and Tony dying, but Doom looks like Tony, and I'm interested to see that. I've seen one theory that was super interesting about how in Endgame, when Tony is talking to his dad makes a comment about his wife being pregnant, and Tony gives him like a weird look, and people theorize that Tony was actually adopted and was the Victor Von Doom of the MCU, but the Kang that was the, I can't think of his name, but it's from the Loki show, the one that Loki killed at the end of that season.
He Who Remains.
There we go. He Who Remains adjusted the timeline and had the Starks adopt Victor Von Doom and raise him as Tony Stark to prevent Doom from taking over in the MCU, and that's how they prevented it. And that's why Tony looked at his dad so weird when he said that his wife was pregnant, because Tony knows that he was adopted. It was an interesting theory, and like it plays off well to how Tony was like weirded out about him saying that his mom was pregnant. And I don't know if the timelines match up, because I don't remember exactly. I know he went back in the 60s when they went to go get the Tesseract at the base. So I don't know how it, like, I don't know how old they have Tony being in the MCU.
Well, there's also a legit comic book where Tony does turn into Dr. Doom.
So in that one, I think it was like a mind meld where Victor Von Doom took over Tony's body, similar to when Doc Ock took over Spider-Man's body in Superior Spider-Man.
So what if Dr. Doom got a hold of Tony Stark's dead body and takes it over?
I mean, they could do that too.
I have no idea what they're going to do. What I do know is that I'm not very excited. I'm not getting my hopes up anymore.
The MCU's been super lackluster since Endgame. Like, nothing's really...
They don't deserve my hopes up no more.
Yeah, Spider-Man, like, the last Spider-Man movie was probably the only one that I was, like, super...
Black Panther 2 was pretty good.
That was okay.
The rest of them, though, Thor 4...
That was terrible.
Bad. So
Guardians 3 was good.
Well, yeah, Guardians has always kind of been in a league of its own.
Yeah. Shang-Chi was okay.
Yeah,
it was fun.
Yeah, I thought it was one of the better ones.
Yeah,
one of the better movies.
Eternals was terrible.
I've grown to kind of appreciate Eternals. I really appreciate what she did from a cinematography.
Visually, it was really good.
I think they threw a lot at you, and I think it takes a few watches where you're kind of like, oh, okay, I can kind of appreciate this now. At first, though, I was largely in the same boat. Like, I left the movie theater being like, ooh, that was so much. Yeah. And then it just seemed very lackluster at the end. Plus, I was also kind of just mad at the fact that they went against... now, I never read the comics, but my buddy has. And apparently, Icarus is not supposed to turn on everybody like that. Like, he's not supposed to be this bad guy. Yeah. So, I was super excited to see this character. And then they kind of like throw away his character like that. So I didn't like that part. But I came to kind of, come to kind of appreciate it as I've watched it again, and I'm like, oh, okay, I appreciate what you tried to do there. Largely, the TV show has been pretty lackluster.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. I mean, Loki. Outside of Loki, I'm trying to think of other ones that were really, really good TV show wise.
And I didn't even finish all of the Loki seasons. The first season was amazing, but
I like WandaVision.
WandaVision was good.
Yeah, WandaVision.
That was like the kickoff of it. Falcon and Winter Soldier was kind of
ass.
Yeah.
Guys, that was so disappointing.
I haven't even seen the new Captain America movie.
Neither have I.
But we watched Fantastic Four the other day, and that one was actually like it was fun.
Yeah.
Like it didn't give me hope for like the MCU, but it was a fun movie. Like throughout the movie, it was cool.
I don't got the time for fun movies, dude. I need great. It needs to be really good. You're talking about you're about to take 3 hours of my time.
No, it's true.
There's so much that I can get done in those 3 hours.
Yeah.
That if you're gonna sit like this is my issue with Avatar. I love the first two.
So we watched Way of Water last night, and it was so good.
It's good?
Yeah. Right. I was talking crap to you about how long it was, but
it's good.
Yeah, but it was really good.
You get so lost in the sauce.
Yeah.
And that's what he's done so well. But man, does he try to fucking really disrespect you with the third one. Because he does the exact same thing, but better. Somehow, the visuals are better.
Yeah. And they were amazing even from the first one.
Yeah.
Like when you rewatch it, even though it's Fern Gully.
Somehow he did it better. Which is crazy to think about. Because the visuals in the second one are so good. I watched it 2 days back to back in Thailand.
Yeah.
At a really nice theater that was in the middle of the island, which was pretty cool. Saturday and Sunday, watched it. 3D both times, just lost, just sitting there, just like, oh my god, it's so good. So I was so excited for this, and I had already heard some people kind of complaining about the second one a little bit, like, the story's a little lackluster. I was like, I kind of enjoyed it. I thought the storyline with the whale and the young boy, I thought that was really sweet. I really enjoyed it. I thought seeing the other side of the planet was cool.
Yeah. The way he made the Na'vi look different, like for being more water people, I thought was really cool.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting. We get to explore a whole different side of the planet.
Yeah.
And so then the third one, me and my boy Reggie were stoked. Fire people. They're gonna be savages.
Yeah.
This is gonna be fucking incredible. And it just literally should have been Way of the Water remake.
Yeah.
Exact same plot.
Yeah, I heard that the ending battle is literally beat for beat.
Cut and paste.
Yeah.
Cut and fucking paste. The exact same thing. The exact same, climax, I guess.
Yeah.
Exactly the same.
Yeah.
The first act of the third movie, I was like, we are fucking in for it.
Yeah.
The first act was different. We got to see air people. We got to see the fire people.
Yeah.
We got to see new creatures. We thought that they were leading to a different part of the planet.
Yeah.
And so we're about to go on a whole nother adventure again. We're gonna see these fireplaces. We're gonna see these fire people. It's gonna be sick 3D fire all over the place. Boy, did it just, as soon as the first act ended, copy and paste. We got the same story with the whale. Copy and paste. Same exact
With the same
thing.
whale?
Same exact whale.
They didn't let him back into the clan yet? But he saved the day in the second one.
They didn't give a fuck. They didn't give a fuck.
I thought for sure like the water people were going to be like, he saved the day. Like he could.
Nope. They were still on the same bullshit.
And then are they still being like mean to the sun and he still feels like an outcast?
Yep. Literally same exact story.
Just beat for
and
beat.
And then act 3, same exact thing.
Yeah.
And it's just like, fuck. gosh, you bastard. Because the visuals.
Yeah.
Every single frame is in 3D. The entire movie, every single frame feels like it's shot 3D.
Yeah.
Every single one of them. And you're like, holy shit. But then somewhere in Act 2, you're like, wait a minute.
I've seen this.
Hold on. And then you kind of come out of like being enthralled by the visuals.
Yeah.
You come out of it for a second and you like, hold on, pal. Wait a minute, you sly dog, you.
Yeah.
Same exact movie.
That's a bummer.
But worse. Way of the Water remake, but worse. ... but worse.
Yeah.
They added this cheesy Marvel comedy, like comedic aspect to it that wasn't in the first two. Like very, very Marvel-y.
Yeah, like
very kiddish punchlines that are so ass. Where we're talking about a movie where these fire people are coming over and slaughtering people.
Yeah.
Cutting off their braid and making them never be able to connect to AWA again.
Yeah.
And we're adding all this fucking cheesy ass comedic things to it. And it's like, the fuck are we doing?
Yeah.
This is a serious movie. Like, people are dying. What are we doing?
Yeah.
What are we doing here?
You're
Why are
making
we
one-liners.
fucking kidifying this shit, dude?
Yeah.
Why is Disney all throughout this? Why? That's not what's supposed to happen here. James Cameron's supposed to be James fucking Cameron and do what he wants to do. And I find it really hard to believe that this was the exact movie that he wanted to make. Whether or not it is or not, I don't know. They already have 4 and 5. We left the theater and we were like, that was the last time those fuckers got us.
Yeah.
I get it. I've seen it 3 times now. Twice in the theater. The first one, I didn't go because I was like, I don't know. I was being... sometimes I'm just...
Well, it was so long ago, too.
things.
Literally, the first one came out in, like, 09?
Mm-hmm. He was waiting for the ability to shoot underwater scenes in 3D. And so he was waiting for the technology to catch up. And as soon as it did, he then shot the next...
Okay.
All of them back-to-back, pretty much.
Yeah, because apparently he has scenes for the 4th and 5th one shot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm pretty sure
not the full movie.
I'm pretty sure they're pretty close to done already. Because the characters are getting too old. Like, the people, the actors are getting too old. So they knocked them all out. Whether they're, like, completely done or if there's some touch-ups still, I'm unsure.
Yeah.
But, yeah, we left the theater and we were like, well, that's the last one I'm seeing in the theater because that's long. I'm getting older. Sitting in those... Because I go to the Bob Bowling Museum downtown.
Oh, okay.
To the only IMAX, the true IMAX theater.
Yeah.
Here in Austin. And so you still have to wait in line. There's no assigned seats. It's still like this cool, nostalgic...
Old-timey.
Like when we grew up, right? You go to midnight releases and so...
That stresses me out.
It's fun, though.
I like being able to choose my seat because otherwise I'm like showing up to the theater like 45 minutes early.
Oh, dude, my boy Reggie got there at 5 p.m. and the movie didn't start till 7:30.
That's exactly what I would do.
And so we do the same thing for like Avengers and everything. That's where we go and see these movies because the screen is unbelievable. It's way bigger than anything else in Austin. It's way bigger than the Dolby theaters and AMC and way bigger than anything Cinemark does or anything like that, right? It's just way better.
Yeah.
And again, it's like that cool feeling. It's not something we do for every movie. It's just the really big ones. We're like, you want to go wait in line, chill with your friends, talk to other people in the line that are also equally as excited about this, And so we're sitting next to this dude, and somehow we got on this topic of Joe Rogan, and he was like, "Oh yeah, he was like bro jogging before his mind melted." And I was like, "I don't even know what you mean by that." And the movie was starting, so I didn't have an opportunity to ask him what he meant by that. Like, I don't know. Again, like the man just asks questions. He just talks to people.
Yeah.
He's had so many different types of people on. I don't understand how, you could watch the Jelly Roll episode last week and be like, I fucking hate this guy.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense.
No, he literally just asks questions.
He's just having conversation with people. Half the time he's just hanging out with his friends, talking shit, being boys.
Yeah.
He just happens to make a lot of money. He never asked to be this famous. He never asked to play this role in society.
Yeah.
He didn't ask for any of this stuff.
I don't even think he wants to. Like, I don't, you know what I mean? Like, I don't think he likes the pressure that like, one of the things he talks about is that he was hoping that he would get smaller by going to Spotify.
Yeah.
Like, he was fine with like becoming less famous. So he was like stoked for like, all right, I'll just go to this app and hopefully like some people forget about me.
But he made it to the point where CNN changes his face on their platform to push a narrative.
Yeah.
So crazy.
Yeah.
They literally put a filter on his face.
I think that was like one of the eye-opening things for a lot of people too, to see like how deceptive the media can be.
Bro, that's when it went like this.
Yeah.
And I don't understand how you could have went this way. How do you see them take this guy who, again, it's just having people on all parties, of all statures, of all races, of all religions, of all thought processes, of all these things.
Mm-hmm.
Widely beloved, the biggest podcast, still the biggest podcast, and watch a mainstream media news source that we're supposed to believe and trust, that has our best interests in their head, or who are supposed to be serving us the proper information, or are supposed to be unbiased, and to see them put a filter on this guy when we all watched the real video on Instagram. Pretty fucking obvious. Not the same thing.
Well, I guess that's the thing too, is like we have access to the original media. It doesn't it's so nonsensical because of that. And not only that, but like, how are you going to frame this when it's somebody that actually got better? So like, you can make him look yellow, but like, he's obviously like still alive and kicking. So
2 days later. And the Rolling Stones then writes an article showing this line outside of the emergency room, saying that all of these people were going into the emergency room for overdosing on ivermectin, which nobody did.
No.
They had fucking gunshot wounds.
The
Rolling Stones, dude.
Well, not only that, but they were like wearing like, it was like a picture of them in Oklahoma in like winter, but they were like releasing it in the summer, saying that these people are waiting in line to get, the gunshot victims are waiting in line because of the like uptick of overdoses on ivermectin.
They didn't give a fuck, dude.
No.
They didn't care, and they threw whatever they
Well, were they even calling it? I don't even know if they called it ivermectin. It was horse paste.
Yeah, horse paste, they threw whatever they could at it. It was crazy to watch in real time. And then to see people go that way, being like, oh, fuck Joe Rogan. Pseudoscientist, blah, 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 blah. And then everything largely to then come to fruition. Same thing with RFK. This man just knocked out 20 pull-ups. How old is Robert Kennedy Jr.? I think he's
in his 70s. Is he 70? He's 100% in his 60s or older.
71 years old. Knocks out 20 pull-ups at 71 years old. Look. I don't know how else to explain this to people. I don't know how else to explain this to people. Right? I used to be in the mindset of, this didn't matter. Like, this wasn't that important. And I admit how naive I was. I used to be in the mindset of, look, I don't care if my personal trainer's in shape. I just want them to know what they're talking about. And then I really started to think about it. And this kind of goes back to just like my view on how parenting worked, or like the way parenting should work, or the way that it does work, and the track record behind it, right? Your personal trainer being overweight, telling you what to do, he could be or she could be completely correct. But you're then staring at another human being who's not doing what they're telling you to do. And I never understood the psychology of that until I've gotten a little older, and I was like, oh my God. telling people what to do does nothing.
Yeah.
It literally does zero. You can tell your kid the right thing all you want. But if they watch you do the opposite, or not do what you're saying, they simply won't believe what you're saying is real or right, even if you are spot the fuck on. You could be giving them the greatest advice, Nobel Peace Prize awarding speech, and they won't care.
Yeah.
And I never understood that until I got older, and now I'm like, I look at this, and I'm like, and I say this jokingly, but RFK like makes me almost want to just stop turn my Wi-Fi off. Because I look at this guy and I'm like, bro, he's 71.
Yeah.
I'm 32 and I understand, and I'm like, dude, I got 40 more years to stay like this to get like that.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So of course I'm going to be inclined to, at bare fucking minimum, hear him out.
Yeah.
And potentially try those things.
Yeah.
Same thing with Joe Rogan. Same thing with Andrew Huberman. Same thing with Cameron Haynes. Same thing with these guys who are pushing 60 years old, who will outrun, outwork, out strength, out anything.
Yeah.
99% of the population at 58 years old. There is very few people in better shape than those guys. And they're 58. And so how can you, with a straight face, tell me that I should listen to nothing that comes from that podcast?
Yeah.
How can you legitimately believe that?
Well, I think it's a super valid argument because they're leading by example because they're living it.
Doing it.
Yeah.
They're doing what they're telling you.
They're not saying like do this and they're not doing it.
You're seeing the actual examples, right?
Yeah. And the results.
And look, I just took a financial risk just yesterday because of him, right? And because of the people he's had on. It's not, and that's the other part that I want to be very, very clear about. It's not that we're taking every single little thing that Joe says is gospel. What we are doing is we are at least giving him an opportunity, but mostly we're listening to the people he is bringing on because those are the people who are educating him, and that education is what he's using to then drive and guide his own life, where it is clearly going in a direction that I would fucking love to do.
Yeah.
Right? I don't have to be that rich. But if I'm 58 and I look like that, you ain't fucking telling me shit. What?
Yeah.
Going elk hunting 14, 15 miles into the mountains, packing it, and going 15 miles out with hundreds of pounds of meat?
Yeah. On your back.
Like, what are we talking? What are we talking about? How can you, with a straight face, be like, pseudoscientist, bro science, bullshit, don't listen, brains melted, whatever else you want to fucking say. It tells me that you don't listen to him. Because he'll tell you not to listen to him all the time.
Yeah.
But again, the people he's bringing on are the people who are educating him, and then in turn, he's taking that education and applying it to his life, and all he is doing is anecdotally telling you what of those things he's tried and done and what is working for him, and then gives you the opportunity to turn around and try and do those things. The human body is crazy, right? You can be unhealthy for so long, and then 90 days later, not be that way anymore.
Yeah.
Your blood markers can completely do a 180.
Yeah.
The human body is crazy.
Yeah. And
so I had a person make this argument to me like, oh, well, not everybody can just do this trial and error style of healthcare. Okay, maybe, but there's really not anything that they're doing or saying that is going to kill me tomorrow.
Yeah, I don't really understand that argument. Like, unless it's something crazy, like don't tell them to like do like crazy CrossFit when they've never been doing anything.
Sure, which has never been the message whatsoever.
No, yeah, like it's like extremes of things I could see, but nobody's ever recommending extremes of anything.
Yeah, no one is telling you to go run a marathon. And
Like even Rogan talks about that all the time. Like, don't do the same workouts as me. Like starting out.
Yeah, he talked about that when he got Shane Gillis.
Exactly.
Tony Hinchcliffe and those fellas working out with him. He's like, look, you're not gonna do what I do today.
Yeah.
You're gonna do this. It's gonna be real light. We might just start with some body weight squats, some body weight push-ups, and that might be it. We're gonna go hit the sun.
Yeah.
And that's it, because you're just starting. And so it just shows me, it's like, dude, you've clearly have never listened to a full episode. Yeah. You clearly have the attention span of a potato, because if you've listened to these episodes, even just more than a couple, if you listen to like 10 episodes, you would realize that, what the fuck am I hating on?
Yeah.
It's just a dude.
Yeah.
Who seems to be living life in the way that all of us would benefit from.
Yeah.
By following to some extent. And this is my hope for like medicine. So many people bitch about the healthcare system, insurance, all these things, but then still play right into it.
Yeah.
Or want to give them even more control. If you hate those things, why would you want to give them more control over your health then? What's going to change?
Yeah.
What's going to change? Especially if you make it free. What's going to change? Have you ever used the VA? Do you know any of your friends that go through the VA? Do you not hear the horror stories about how much they dislike it?
Yeah.
How poor the information is that they get? How not helped they are? I see my parents go through it.
Yeah.
Parents are like, they're trying their best, and I feel like there's just information that they get through these sources that they're told to trust, and just like, man, I don't know. I don't know if I don't think that's right. Like, I don't think that's actually helping you. I don't think that they're actually trying to help you, and trying to convince people of that is really difficult. Again, I'm not a doctor, so it's like, why would you listen to me? Okay, I get it.
Yeah.
My only reason why that you should even take anything that I say is just because, again, I've been doing it.
Yeah.
I got my blood work back. I have checked my numbers now. I do know.
Yeah, now you can speak to it.
I do know, without a shadow of doubt, that what I am doing is currently working.
Yeah.
And that's going to get done every 6 months. And if something's changed, then I'll be like, fuck, dude, I was wrong about that.
Yeah.
Or this is what I changed, or this is what I added, or this is what I started doing. Right? Fucking, it's so simple. I don't know. And again, you're sitting here, you listen to it very often.
Yeah.
And now here you are, down 120 pounds,
yeah.
largely due to things that have been said on there through the guests, largely due to you also then taking some self-accountability and being like, okay, this is what they said. Let me also go check, like, is other people saying the same things? Are there other people doing the same things?
Yeah.
Are other people having the same success? And then you combine those two, and then you make the best decision for yourself.
100%.
For yourself.
All of the information is there. Like, all of the information is out, like, it's at our fingertips.
Yeah.
So you don't have to take what anybody says as gospel. Like, you can literally vet any information that you want. Yeah. So it's such a stupid argument to say that, like, anything, like, you can look up anything that any of his guests have said, you can follow up on all of it, and largely I would say most of it is all true. Like, nobody's
to some relative degree. Again,
exactly. Yeah.
There might be some hyperbole, there might be some shit talking, there might be some exaggeration.
Yeah.
But again, common sense. It will get you a really far fucking way.
Yeah.
Just being practical about it. Like, oh, okay, he probably meant like this.
Yeah.
You know, like, it's funny.
Yeah. No, I hate when people, like, parse out that kind of stuff too, though. Like, he'll quote, like, a percentage of something, and he says it wrong. Like, it's up on the screen. Like, if you're watching on video, you'll see that it says 19%, and he'll be like, oh, like 17%. And then people will, like, call that out, like, oh, he's saying something wrong. But it's like, come on. Like, like, yes, you're technically right. He's saying something wrong.
Yeah,
but
you're usually critiquing something that's not actually changing the outcome of what's being said.
Yeah.
Not just nitpicking.
Yeah.
Okay.
But that's what I feel. That's what I feel like a lot of things are doing, just in general nowadays. Like you see that all the time with like anything. Like even like Charlie Kirk. Like you see people pull things out of context and just focus on that little sound clip, and then it like when you pull out that sound clip, you're like, oh, that sounds kind of like that's like a dick thing to say. But then when you listen to the full thing, you're like, oh no, that makes sense. Like taking things out of context, like you can make any of us sound like assholes.
Oh yeah.
Or say make it seem like whatever we're saying is incorrect.
Yeah, you can splice anything.
Yeah,
the BBC did it.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah,
and here they are being sued for like so much. I think the lawsuit came in for like $36 billion or something. It's gonna be absorbent.
Yeah,
and I think I don't know, right? How does that how does this fall into free speech? Because I've been thinking about this a little bit. I'm like, I guess it's not technically free speech because you're purposely misleading. Is that?
I think that's probably how it would fall. Is like it's because it's misleading. I don't know. That's an interesting question. Because like, I know free speech isn't necessarily finite because there are those things that like you can't like threaten people or do things like that. So I guess you could make an argument that doing that, like misleading people could lead to violence. You'd have to do some mental gymnastics to figure out like how.
Or are you like, since they spliced it that way, that led to this insane response that just that made people like, I mean, he got impeached for it.
Yeah.
That splice, made people think that he's the reason why January 6th even took place at all.
Yeah. The quote unquote insurrection.
Yeah, like when he didn't even say that.
No, yeah.
He didn't say it. It's not what he said.
No, and I think, didn't they use clips that weren't even, like, they were from, like...
52 minutes
That's what I was about to say, yeah. It was from before, like, it wasn't anything...
They spliced it together. The two portions that they put together and ran with was 52 minutes apart.
What was interesting about that, too, is, like, that then they immediately, like, suspended his Twitter, and I feel like even pulled all of that stuff down, so you couldn't necessarily fact-check whatever was being said after the fact.
It's coincident.
Yeah.
Coincidental there, yeah?
Yeah.
I think it's real convenient.
Yeah.
Now I can't even check to see
what was really said.
Yeah. I don't even have access to the full clip no more, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of wacky shit. There's still a lot of wacky shit. Like, we've been talking about it before. Like, I don't know what the fuck's up with Venezuela. I don't like it. It doesn't feel good. That's for sure.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel right. That's for sure. It doesn't feel like I'm getting
good. All right, y'all. Sorry about that. Technical difficulties. Had a little scare there. Thought we lost the whole episode. We're back.
Jordan broke it.
Ooh, dude, so close. We forgot. I mean, we didn't forget. The phone was plugged into the charger. The charger was not turned on. And so we thought we lost the whole thing. I only had a video that was 55 seconds long. We had been talking for 2 hours and 49 minutes. You'll see this video about 2 hours and 31 minutes, and then you'll see us cutting to this and wrapping up because we lost like 15 minutes. So nothing crazy.
Yeah.
We were spitting some fire though.
No, it was literally everything that was important about the podcast in that 15 minutes.
Just in that 15 minutes.
Yeah.
All of it.
Yeah.
Just like that was
We talked about who killed JFK.
Ooh, we knew all the answers.
Yeah.
Actually, we really just spent a lot of time talking about Erica Kirk.
Oh yeah, that's true.
And how she should stop walking out to fireworks if she wants privacy.
Yeah.
That was about the sum of it. So if you're following along with that, you know what we're talking about. If not, all right, well, you just have to wait for Anthony round 2. Look, I don't even know how to jump back into the fucking groove. I'm all like disgruntled.
Yeah. Jordan had an aneurysm.
Yeah, yeah, I know. It doesn't matter because it'll be.
Or is it?
I guess, I don't know. Fuck it, dude. We'll clap one more time. Fuck it. Boom. I'll probably just make 2 timelines and then merge it together. But nonetheless, dude, Anthony's got to go. He's got 2 kids. He got one on the way. His wife is going to kill him. So hopefully we see him again. If not, that's what happened. Sophie did it.
I'm buried in the backyard.
Right, dude. You get in a car accident on the way home, and then Sophie gets arrested because of this.
Number one suspect. She's like, I was home with the kids.
Yeah, I wasn't even in the car with them. No, we don't wish that happened. That hopefully that doesn't happen. Yeah, so that was it. There's that. Damn, we were on a roll. Damn, there is really like kind of like a trance that you get into.
No, 100%. Like I didn't even realize that we had been going for that long till like the technical difficulties, and then I looked and I was like, holy shit, we're like almost at 3 hours.
Yeah.
Because you don't realize it. And we've like gone like we were talking about Marvel at one point. And we went off on an Avatar tangent. Like
Yeah, and I was trying to talk about stem cells, and that's how we got onto an Avatar tangent, because I was talking about Bro Jogan, the guy sitting next to me.
Yes.
And then I went off on this long tangent about the movie, and then never even got to that part. But anyways, nonetheless, got stem cells. I'll keep y'all updated. You'll see this episode in 2 weeks, so it'll be 2 weeks from then. You can see all the updates on Instagram.
And you're doing daily on it, right? Daily on Instagram.
I mean, you're just gonna post as I notice
goes.
things, or if like I don't notice something, I'll, just gonna try to post, like update people, because I've accepted my role as kind of like us normal folk, guinea pig. And when I say that, I mean just like, where this is either just financially impossible, or such a financial stress that people are nervous about doing it. And I'm thankful to have a pretty good stock year, so I was able to do it. I accept this role. I believe in them full-heartedly, so I'll keep y'all updated on how that goes. And just day one, if you, I guess, listening to this 2 weeks from now, day one, you might have seen it on my Instagram, but I woke up, my back was not stiff. Placebo, maybe not. I don't know. My back wasn't stiff. I've been walking around all day, outside of soreness where the shot went through my SI joint into my SI ligament. I've had zero pain in my lower back. Even sitting here, I can feel where the shot went in, but I'm not dying. I'm not like begging to get up.
Yeah.
Very unusual for me. I've been dealing with an injury for 12 years. It flares up from time to time. When it flares up, it's pretty fucking awful. I feel like I'm 60, 70, or I imagine that's how someone 60 and 70 feels.
Not RFK.
Yeah, not RFK though. That man did 20 pull-ups in an airport. I don't know if we talked about that before the video, before the camera died, but damn, I hope at least a little bit of that part's in there. The BBC before, did we talk? I don't know. Nonetheless.
Yeah. No, I think RFK was before, so I think we're good.
I hope all that whole like...
Jordan did lose all of his body hair though because of the stem cells.
Yeah, dude, body hair is completely gone.
Just has beard and
just
head.
albino as hell now. That's not true. But yeah, so that's the update. That is something I just want to document it so that way I can keep tabs of it. It's the only way to know whether or not I'm actually feeling the differences, or if it's just a lie, or just I feel better than I did the day before, or whatever. So I'm just trying to keep myself honest, so that way if I talk about it and I recommend it to somebody to tell them to spend $13,000, that I'm giving them a truthful recommendation and not just saying you should go do it because I think I feel better. So I'll keep tabs on it. Lastly, real quick, jiu-jitsu. For you, as a 39-year-old man.
40 now.
Yeah.
I started at 39.
You're 40 now.
I'm 40. Yeah.
Damn. Old as fuck. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, starting jiu-jitsu, 39. Just quickly, before we wrap this up, what has that done for you? What does that mean to you? And what would you tell someone who is either your age or younger, or even maybe a little older, who is just hesitant to join?
That's a lot of pressure. I would think like if it's something that's in your mind of wanting to do, you need to just try it. Like it's something that I've definitely thought about for years and just could never bring myself to just go and do it. And it's been like one of the coolest things I've ever done.
One misconception that you had before that has been proven not to be true, or like something that you thought was going to happen that it just wasn't the reality of once you went in there.
Honestly, I didn't have it. I didn't have any like bad expectations. Like obviously you read online that like sometimes like people can be dicks and stuff like that, but that's anywhere. And like I've gotten really lucky about the place that we train at Half Gracie's here in Georgetown, that like everybody is amazing there. So I know that I've really lucked out on the gym that I ended up going to with all the training partners. Like everybody's super cool. Like all of my experiences there with everybody that I roll with is always awesome. But I think that's more of a testament to just how great our school is, as opposed to overall experience with jiu-jitsu for some people. Cause I know like I have friends that have come from other gyms that didn't have like jiu-jitsu was fun enough that they kept going, but the experience, like the gym experience was subpar.
Sure. So it wasn't the jiu-jitsu. Typically you're finding that those people went to a school that maybe they didn't vibe with, or maybe they didn't like, or maybe just wasn't a good school at all. They didn't quit jiu-jitsu. They just went to a different school typically.
And I think that's more of a testament to jiu-jitsu and how fun it is. It's crazy because it's like, it's really hard. But you want to keep coming back.
Absolutely. That sums it up.
Yeah.
That sums it up, dude. Thank you.
No, thank you.
First and foremost.
Thank you for having me.
Appreciate you having you on, dude. We always have good conversations outside of being on the podcast.
Yeah.
We're always texting about something and having good discussions, man. And I appreciate it. I love the mental sparring, or even just kind of like the mental maybe not even just reassurance. It's just like
it's just good back and forth.
It's shit that I think about all day long.
Yeah.
It's good to have somebody that fucking bounce shit off of, think about things with, think out loud about things, and just have a place where it's just like, all right, these are the things that are fucking going on. Here are the thoughts, here are positives, here are negatives. Okay, let's break this the fuck down.
Yeah.
What the fuck is happening? So it's fun, and I appreciate you very much. I'm happy to be your friend. Thanks for being on here. Congrats to losing all the weight. It's fucking cool. Keep it off, or I'll yell at you.
Sure.
So
I will try. I'm keeping on keeping on.
Keep on keeping on, dude.
Yeah.
Anything you want to shout out? You're pretty private.
No.
Instagram's private. Whole 9 yards. Cool.
Yeah.
No worries. We'll do it again.
Definitely.
Woo! All right, y'all. Thank you very much. Love you guys, and we'll see you next week. Deuces.